Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on your YouTube, join our cult.
Big inhale on that intro there. That was a big one.
I'm glad you like that.
It's like you've got a shoddy pipe in your hands. Oh, I made something off of a pineapple. Oh.
That's right, Ross. Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by the dulcet tones of Jack, Ross, and myself. And we all look worse for wear because it's absolutely hoying it down.
Speak for yourself.
Up here.
What do you
think
mean?
I look
I've just
ravishing.
I think I look nice and all.
I was checking the back of my head, my head sticking out like a platypus's
Hair
nose.
sticking out like a telephone dryer.
Yeah.
We're at school.
Yeah.
Has your ass gone through the telephone wire?
Yeah.
Yes, it has, Ross.
What does that even mean?
Argument here.
How's your ass go through a telephone wire?
I
Badly,
thought it was
apparently.
hair sticking up like a telephone wire. I don't know.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Hair sticking up like a telephone wire. Oh, yeah, there is an
bum's,
arse bit.
Bum's gone through a telephone wire for me up north.
Oh.
Up north, it's different then.
Staggering.
Me and
Regional
Matthew,
differences is what you're here for.
me and Matthew down here in the south. What was I going to say there?
You're going to tell us how the hell you're doing, Jack.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. I'm doing all right. Yeah, I was going to mention the rain.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's going to rain on and off for about a week.
Get in.
Ugh. Despite being really, I think it's the coldest city in England. Newcastle doesn't get that much rain, I don't feel.
Coldest city, but the warmest heart.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cold, put the coal in coldest.
In Colditz.
No,
remember that.
no, in coldest.
Oh, Coldust. That's better.
Coal dust. He would be crap, wouldn't he? Comes
Coal
out
dust.
smearing everyone in coal.
Oh, pet, I could murder a pint.
Hey, coal dust is brilliant. Wow. That's like a you and Tom thing.
It really is. Thanks,
How
pal.
are you, Matthew?
Doing all right. Getting there, brick by brick.
What are you building?
Me cell. Oh, I was violently sick on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Again?
I'm still feeling it.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to have to just eat only things that I make myself.
Was it food, do you
I'm
think?
Bubble Boy. I don't know what it was. There's something that was in me, then was quickly out of me.
How
Was
you
it
feeling now?
chicken?
No.
Oh.
Good thing to check, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm still not gone back to Tesco's.
I mean, why would you?
Fridge chicken.
There was, I think I said this before, there was a really, really nice place on Westgate Road that I used to go get my regular grilled chicken from. And one time that made me violently sick. This is like during lockdown. But it was so good. Every time I walked past it, go, well, it was only one time it gave me food poisoning. I mean, chances are.
It's over in a little while.
So I'm the opposite because
Yeah,
you know Kwok Pao, the legendary Chinese takeaway on Heaton Road.
Of course.
It's Cheryl Cole's favorite Chinese takeaway.
That's how we all know it. Rated rather highly.
Apparently, that's Cheryl Cole's favorite one. But I used to live right near there, and then I was ill once, and the last thing I'd eaten was the ribs from the Kwok Pao Chinese takeaway. And even though it wasn't it wasn't food poisoning, I've never been able to go back to the ribs from there because I associate it with feeling crap.
One of those bad ribs that wrestlers talk about.
Have you ever been poisoned by food? Let us know in the comments down below.
How are you, Ross?
I'm fine.
I
I'm
like
fine.
your jumper.
Thank you. It's from the Spotify Camp Nou. That's what I picked up when I was there.
Oh, it's a Barcelona jumper.
I was going to get a Anzu Fatty shirt, but they didn't have any. Ironically, in fat man sizes. So that was bad. Just had little man sizes. You'd have been fine with a
Ansu
medium.
Fati's actually a very small man, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Got
But
into it.
it's funny because he's called Fatty. I'm flying by the seat of my pants today.
Good.
Because I've started the podcast needing a wee. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh.
Danger. Highway to the danger zone this week's podcast.
Is that when Rick Rude would have a cigarette before his matches so it could start off in his second wind?
Yeah. Well, we're speaking about piss upstairs. And Jack Atkins,
good.
Jack Atkins of the Cultaholic Classic Raw review fame has drank his own piss on 2 occasions.
What?
He said he slept in the
Whoa.
third level of a house, I think he said.
Is he all right with this being shared publicly?
I don't care. He's the third level of a house, and he had a Coke can next to his bed. And he said one night he woke up needing to go for a Jimmy piss as you need to do sometimes.
No,
I think we can all see where this is going.
And he's pissed in the Coke can and then drank it when he got up the next day. He said he's done that on 2 separate occasions. Because I was like, why don't you drink your piss now? And he's like, I will, but I've just been to the toilet. So I was like, oh, we'll wait for the next time you need to go for
The
it.
most surprising part of this
whittle
story is that Jack Atkins is straight edge. So he wouldn't have been drunk when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been completely sober. He would have had his wits about him.
Yeah, there's no excuses then if you're straight edge. It's
No.
a bit weird, isn't
He
it?
said he just couldn't be asked with the long walk down to the toilet, so he just...
But he did say he works with children while chewing on a muffin.
What, menacingly?
Which is what all straight edge people do, isn't it? So-
Oh, right.
Oh, Matthew.
It's a wrestling podcast, Maffew.
Yeah, but Jack often says stuff like, yeah, well, he was eating a muffin upstairs. So it's like,
Yeah, I often
was he?
say
Was he?
stuff.
I work
often
with
say
children.
that, Yeah.
Right, CM Punk. Yes,
Ah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Sorry.
Do you remember him?
I don't think AEW does.
He did some commentary for some MMA.
He certainly did.
And his hair, he'd grown out a bit. He looked like old corporate Punk in Ring of Honor without the purple,
Right.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, the good old Jared Leto Punk has
Yeah.
returned, eh?
Right.
I don't know if it was just, I thought he looked 25 years younger than the last time we saw him. His skin looked nice and soft.
I think part of it is the last image we all have of him. He's injured and beaten up after a match and sweating.
Right.
and-
Pink, sore, like uncooked
Bags
chicken.
under
Sorry,
his
Ross.
eye. Oh.
And,
Still too soon.
I know.
Sorry, the news you're about to jump
Oh,
in.
there's lots of it. Might as well
Oh,
talk to
God.
Waddle. Top WWE star injured at house show. Sadly, Mr. Kevin Owens, everyone's favourite dude, got injured on November 13th in a victory match with Austin Theory. Oh, what's he like here? Apparently, he has
It
been
wasn't
helped up
Theory's
by-
fault,
It
by the
wasn't
way.
Theory's
Nah,
fault. We've
everything's,
really thrown-
everything's his fault.
We've really
He fell off the turnbuckle apparently and then hurt, clutching his knee, and then the referee had to help him to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame. It wasn't officially announced, but it did look as if the Bloodline would face Drew McIntyre and possibly him as well at the War Games, but he'll be off that. It's a big shame. Rey Mysterio Jr. also injured and pulled from the SmackDown World Cup. Place for Mustafa Ali. He's going to wrestle there, but it's either a foot or an ankle injury. I didn't even think it was possible to get injured if you're Rey Mysterio or take time off if you were hurt. I think he's done this last 30 years of his life, hasn't he?
At least it's not his knee. Every cloud, eh? Every cloud.
Hang on.
Hope he gets well soon.
Yeah.
Of course, hearts got all those lovely lads there. Corey Graves furious about Austin Theory's failed WWE Money in the Bank cash-in. Now, Corey Graves isn't one to mince his words, so it was rather amusing to hear him getting mad on the After the Bell podcast. It was an end missing from there, where he was genuinely mad about how it all played out. Quote,
Sorry.
there we
After
go.
the Bell End podcast.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I'm furious of how it all played out. I was furious it was unfolding before our very eyes as a real human being. What? And as an on-air character, Seth freaking Rollins and Austin Theory are two of my favorites. I think the world of Austin Theory, and I truly believe what Mr. McMahon was saying 6 months ago, that this guy could be the guy. I understand that things change, and the path, everything has changed.
Is this the wrestling news or is this Matthew's agenda news? I'm just going to jump in there because I've not heard that story at all this week.
Me
Corey
neither,
Graves,
yeah.
this is on Cultaholic's
What's the
amazing
news?
news. Corey Graves was not a fan of the Austin Theory thing.
I don't care what Corey Graves.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
I guess the news is that it's on an official WWE podcast. I guess that's
Matthew,
what makes it news.
Not
Yeah.
keen on Austin Theory. That's
No,
news
Corey
that I'm gonna
Graves.
check out
Corey
here.
Graves saying it.
Okay, yeah.
CM Punk makes his first appearance back since All Out. We covered that. It was at the MMA Complete Cage Fury Fighting Championship.
So from what I can tell, this is like a lower. It's a smaller MMA company than UFC, but it's also affiliated with the UFC. It's like Evolve then, or like something like that, because it's on the UFC network or the Fight Pass or whatever.
Oh, was it?
I think so. Yeah. But it's not. The
So
UFC.
wait, we're saying, CM Punk hasn't returned to UFC.
we can't say
So
that.
the MMA fans can stop clutching their hearts right now. Oh, God. Yeah, and he said, I'm happy to be here. I've missed you. I've missed everybody watching at home. I've missed the fights. And tonight, I'm not going to do that. Oh.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah, he's a nice boy, really, isn't he? It's weird how quickly opinion can change if he just comes across a bit self-effacing. And everyone goes,
I don't think opinions changed.
would.
He's still clearly a massive knobhead.
No.
He just looks very well these
no,
days.
he's my
being in a
special guy, and I love him.
Also, Natalia out of action for 3 months as well. She underwent surgery. She suffered a dislocated nose earlier in November. She's the Diva of Doom.
Oh, nice.
the Diva of Doom.
So the Diva of Doom will be out of action for at least 3 months. Is she? I thought she was
that's
the
class.
boat.
She's the boat, yeah.
Diva of Doom.
She they did that in a clever way though, because they had Shayna
I was going to say.
knee her
Yeah.
in the face as if it's part of the storyline. Clever.
That's what you do with injured people, right?
It's good wrestling.
Yeah.
I hope she didn't have to have
Great
this
piece of
thing
business.
where, they click it across your face. I saw a pal of mine who had his nose broken on a night out have that done.
By a person.
Yeah, by another person. I was an onlooker. I didn't do anything. And he had it realigned the next day, and that was the noise. Oh, I hope that never happens to me.
Clickety clack.
No cap.
Speaking of no cap, Carl Anderson gives update on New Japan's status. Because obviously he was supposed to defend that never openweight title, but he was in Saudi Arabia having a good old time and was unable to do it. So he said, quote, I'm going to go back on my time. New Japan Pro Wrestling usually strips their champions when they can't make a show. They threw a leniency in there because they announced the match when we hadn't totally agreed on what we were going to do. The dates were coming up. I'm going to come back and defend my championship. I message Rocky Romero. He's a great friend and one of the Office brothers. And I go, I can't wait to announce this date because these people are really hate me right now. By the way, I'm keeping this title and never giving it back. It says the last part was obviously said in jest.
Rocky Romero, little fun fact I've learned about the wrestling business.
Go on.
Is the voice of the Bullet Club theme tune.
No,
I think that I got a human. I think that's him.
Can you give us a full verse there, please?
No.
Yeah, when 5-Star Wrestling brings back their Bullet Club.
What? They had a Bullet Club?
Coloured Blub. Oh, no, they're called the other one. Raging Randy Organ.
What are
them.
the lyrics to that song?
I
got a bullet and I shot it with my
caught a
gun.
human and I shot him with my gun.
I don't know the lyrics because anytime I hear the first second of audio, I laugh so hard.
I've not heard the original Bullet Club theme for a while now in a wrestling show. They don't really. Everyone's got their own, haven't they?
Yeah.
You don't hear the bow, wow, wow. It was good at the time. I don't know. Fine.
I was listening to my new metal playlist on Spotify the other day.
Oh, what's on that?
It's curated by Spotify based off what you've listened to in the past. Yeah. And on there was Packing Heat, the AEW Bullet Club version. You know, when Gallows and Anderson were there with Omega. What were they called? The Super Elite.
I can't think of that thing.
Yeah, bow, bow. And then someone sings on there as well, but I doubt it's Rocky Romero. Don't know why I felt I need to mention that. It's a good song, though. Nice riff. Jamming.
I was told by a member of the Bullet Club that Rocky Romero is the voice of the Bullet Club theme, and now I don't know whether Ross is right and he's just the Bullet Club or whether he's the high voice. It could be either. One of them is Rocky Romero.
I'm sure he'll take credit for all of them.
No, in kayfabe, he hates them. Got to protect the business.
Yeah, we'll take their money.
They're his meal ticket. Yeah, exactly.
And also the bit I've called the Nick Aldis News Special because God, there's been a lot of them this week. It's like 2017 on Oregon.
Oh God, there has, yeah.
Nick Aldis explains why he's leaving the NWA after being affiliated with them for a number of years. He talked a lot. He was on the Not Sam Wrestling. It's not called Not Sam Wrestling.
It is, yeah.
It's Not Sam.
It's his new brand.
It's called Not Sam
It's
Wrestling.
called the Not Sam Wrestling. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's Sam Roberts anyway.
Yeah, Sam Roberts. Obviously, his Twitter handle's Not Sam.
Yeah. Same guy.
Yeah, and he obviously talked a lot. But look, I can't get around it. I'm not saying all of it, but there was enough of that. It didn't pass the Harley Race test. What people hear that Harley Race, what the hell? We have to understand Harley Race wanted nothing to do with the NWA because of what it had been prior. It had seen some pretty dark days. Then he agreed not only to come back associated with it, but he would come back to Missouri to defend it. When he came out to Missouri, he would appear on camera talking to me about being an NWA champion, and that ended up being the last interview he ever gave on camera before he passed away. So that meant a lot to him.
Oh.
So, a lot of stuff here, but he talks about how basically he has been serious about keeping the NWA a serious company and bringing it back up to, and every NWA, I think when they get a bit of money behind them, tries saying these things, but Nick Aldis did a really good job of actually representing the brand, wearing a suit and looking like, wow, you look like, you could have been one of those dudes that people associate the NWA rather than just like, 70s, 80s, 90s, the question mark, modern day.
I don't know what he's on about there, though, because I reckon Harley Race would have loved Gerald the Gimp or whatever he was called. Because he mentions the examples, doesn't he, of the social distancing match and some sort of Gimp. I forget what his name was.
Gerald the Gimp. I don't even know if that's a real wrestler or not, if he's just making up
I googled
stuff,
it and it is.
It is a real wrestler.
It's a real wrestler.
I can't remember if it was Gerald, but it's something like that.
Something like that. I don't. Gerald's made up on my part.
Gerald Briscoe. I don't know why.
That's probably what Harley called
Gerald and Pat.
I'm sure that Harley probably liked Gerald. Shooters, both of them. Anyway.
Yeah.
But when you look at the roster they had a few years ago, and obviously when the NWA Power started, it was a nice thing to just watch for an hour, and it was very much different. And that was what was good
Tony
about
Khan
it.
Was quaking in his booth.
But then they've lost, like, obviously Ricky Starks and people of that ilk have got on, and then like Aaron Stevens was doing good
Eddie
things back
Kingston
then.
was on it.
Eli Drake, Shoes of a Champion.
Yeah, Shoes of a Champion.
They had so much going for them, and it's just all gone away.
Well, Funk's on a roll now.
Who?
Funk is on a roll.
No, he's not.
Ow.
He's fallen with style.
Funk can't do a roll.
No, you know.
And so they were saying, again, he talked a lot. It was, I do recommend people either looking up the transcript posted on Cultaholic's fabulous news section.
Thank you, Aiden and Jack Atkins, for their website work.
Well done. Or going to Not Sam Wrestling and listen to the whole thing, because you hear people say, look, I'm not saying it was the right thing to put the title on me or put me in the main event, but they weren't drawing when he wasn't champ. It was Trevor Murdoch. And so he said, how about me and Matt Cardona do our thing? And then people start watching again. So then him and Tom Latimer doing stuff, and that was kind of working. And then, Matt Cardona got hurt, and that kind of broke things up. So bit of a gap there. And then he said, well, I was doing good, blah, blah, blah. So then Billy Corgan had a chat with his wife, Mickey James, and said, hey, said to him in a private conversation, like, hey, your husband is pressuring me to put the belt back on him. And he's like, oh, is that how you're reading that?
Why would he say that to Mickey James of all people? Why would he talk behind Nick?
I could trust you,
Why
right,
would
Mickey
he
James?
talk behind Nick Aldis's back to his wife?
Nick that I've said this, really.
Then Nick Aldis said, anyway, was the most toxic wrestling company right now. And he said, look, I try not to get into this political stuff. It's not very interesting to me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a centrist. But I'm out of the audience. Wait a minute. Billy specifically has been disregarding half the audience and doing the complete opposite, almost out of spite. I believe he's going on there. He doesn't say it, but it's like, well, because Tyrus is on Fox News.
Yeah.
He's like, woohoo, we go to Fox News, the big old belt.
I feel like
Yay! And half the people going, okay.
I feel like Billy might not have the best mindset to book a wrestling.
And it's when Billy makes comments like, yes, there's all these ladies in the world of wrestling who are good, but could they hold up the NWA style and carry an NWA pay-per-view? Insert that gif of Tyrus falling off the turnbuckles like I could, having never trained.
And then Trevor Murdoch
previously done a show called Empower. It was
and it was
mint.
well.
And it was good, yeah.
And that was the thing that Gold said as well. It's like, yeah, well, it looks like we're not having Empower 2. So it's like, okay, I think we've reached an impasse here. So, yeah, that anyway women's division that ended up becoming most of the best AEW women's.
Deeb,
et cetera, et cetera. So,
Oh, she's injured now. What's she called? The small Russian woman.
Oh, Layla Hirsch.
Yeah, Layla Hirsch. Yeah.
My grind is legitimate. Her theme says.
It is.
Do you know who sings that?
Rocky Romero.
That's exactly
Smashing Pumpkin. Oh, right.
With the backwards arcs, it's Russian. And then this somehow segued into World of Sport. Reach out to Nick Aldis and Mickey James for potential relaunch of all the bloody things to see.
Who was it on Twitter who was like, is this 2017 again?
Yeah, I saw someone say this is the same news as 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, this was, I'm not too optimistic because we've seen World of Sport try and come back and it was an ITV game show, basically. Not discrediting the hard work the wrestlers put in, but it was clear that there was a disconnect between the vision of the wrestlers and the promoters and the telly.
Yes.
Like a huge disconnect. There was the buzzer thing and Mr.
Bigley's.
Mr.
I love you remember his
Biggles? No, I don't know what his name was.
Bloke, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Old man.
Yeah.
Grado, come on down.
And then the British Bulldog. The British Bulldog's here. The British Bulldog. His son is here.
And
Osprey was on it, wasn't
Osprey
he?
lost clean to the British Bulldog. Yeah, of course.
It's like all the people that couldn't work for WWE went to that. It was so weird.
I mean, there was some really good wrestlers there.
Yeah.
Kip Sabian and Yeston Reese were a great tag team. There was good bits of it, definitely. Grado was in his element.
Yeah.
Like my mum loved Grado, so she was like, he's brilliant. And she'd never watched wrestling. So, but the news here, I believe, is saying that it'll be on a smaller budget and it'll be on free TV or something. Be on like a smaller channel, maybe.
A small channel than ITV.
Well, yeah, but like
ITV for 2 a.m.
It'll be on like a smaller channel.
Right after James Bond.
It very much sounded like less of a like it had less sort of grand ambition behind it, but that sounded like it might serve it better because they might have more freedom to make it more wrestly. Don't know.
So I remember what ruined it, by and large, was how it was shot. But they had to do that because I spoke to one of the producers, and they had to do that just to stop the kids from trying to nail the wrestling moves and working out how it's all done.
There was a cut like every move.
Yeah.
Also, it felt like the matches were really chopped down as well.
Yeah. So we weren't fans, and it turns out the people that it wasn't aimed at, obviously us, that we watch New Japan World, fans aren't going to enjoy it. And neither did the old people that was aimed at either.
But I do like the notion that it scared WWE so much that they invented NXT UK and killed the scene.
Right, Triple H like a week later going, oh, that was a bit of a waste, really, wasn't it?
Meltzer or someone was like, this is huge. ITV is massive. And didn't really think about whether it would succeed or for how long it would be on ITV.
Yeah, in theory, yeah, but... Speaking of good old UK wrestling companies that we used to like years ago, Progress issued a statement regarding their announcement.
Punk rock music. Do it yourself, man.
DIY.
Down with the establishments.
Yeah, we hate the authority. Don't give us your money. We'll burn it and play a guitar.
Oh, you're not going to be at Chapter 75, Thunder Bastard? Well, you're not a very good wrestling fan, are you? I look down my nose upon thee. I'm a Progress fan.
I love gripply graps. I love the grap. WCPW was right. No, I'm joking. No.
WCPW never did anything. Do the Bret Hart. WCP.
No, I just think that times really shone more kindly upon WCPW.
Yep.
Given some of the baffling decisions that promotions have made since. Carry on, please. Sorry.
Do we need to? But yes, they're going to Dubai. Isn't that nice? The announcement drew widespread condemnation from fans, with human rights issues in the Gulf state a hot topic, and with the idea of sports washing a big talking point due to upcoming FIFA World Cup in Qatar.
Oh, I am looking forward to the World Cup.
It's what become the biggest hypocrites in the world, we know, and there is ongoing partnership with Saudi Arabia. Progress, after struggling to find any good quote tweet about themselves, a long statement saying, Progress Wrestling has always prided
They
itself
need to stop doing statements.
on being slightly edgy, unconventional, and seen as a promotion that does not shirk any challenges. Now, we'll probably carry on there, but we've peaked already.
Didn't it basically say, you fans are uninformed, okay? Shut up. We're right, you're wrong.
They said, we've done shows for all people of colour, like everything patterned.
I was about to bring this up.
Yeah.
Yes, our number one priority has and always will remain the same. We want all of our shows to be a welcoming and safe place for people to come, and we've held many great shows this year, including Everything Patterned, brackets, exclusively for wrestlers of colour, and Who Runs the World, our first all-female show, which caused...
Big wavy, yeah.
Yeah. Roy Johnson,
that's more LA, isn't it?
to do a statement saying, Progress running a show in Dubai is not my business, but mentioning Everything Patterned in their statement now makes me involved. And did this bullet point thing saying, bullet point, saying, Big Wavy Roy Johnson's Everything Patterned trademark symbol is trademarked for purposes of professional sports. Entertainment. So please refer it as such. Everything Patterned, TM, was created in response to Progress shows in the past that had little to no representation from wrestlers of colour. I want to run this show with Progress as a nice full circle moment to give wrestlers of colour the platform they deserve. Point 3. Despite repeatedly asking why, you continue to remove my name from the show title and graphics and say that it was a, quote, error and would be amended, and yet the show was uploaded to the W Network without it.
Oh.
4. You weren't interested in promoting Everything Patterned, trademark, when I ran it elsewhere in September, so please don't use it now to prove a point. 5, I would have appreciated a heads up on the correct trademark term to be used in the statement, or at least before the statement was posted. Anything else is a personal gripe that I have, and I still want to hold a degree of professionalism, so this could be discussed when you're ready to call. Thanks.
No, I think it's
said 3 hours later, no one from Progress has called me, but could still find time to DM my girlfriend to tell her tweet is inaccurate.
I think it's worth mentioning.
It's just like, that's it. The referee is waving it off, folks. It's over.
No, I think it's worth mentioning that Progress these days has the Progress that's massively made a PR mess of this has different ownership than the Progress that massively made a mess out of selling out, signing with the WWE, handling the speaking out movement really badly. They're two different. It's like two separate groups of people who've made bad mistakes, but you know, it's still the same promotion.
It's very darkly comical that of the big 3 heads, these are in Progress. One of them allegedly had a degree in marketing.
Oh, really?
And he was the one that they would try and lock out the account so he wouldn't respond to people badly on Twitter.
Oh, that's him.
That's
it.
God. It was amazing going, I've got a degree in marketing. Like,
hey, look,
you're kidding, right?
I think it was him who wrote the speaking out statement as well, which was crap.
It might have just turned around.
I've never met the man, so I don't. But from everything I've seen of him, he looks like a dick. I'm sorry, he does.
No,
and
Jack,
I think he was.
That's not very nice, but we'll allow it.
I think he was a bit snooty about us as well back in the day.
Look, I'm actually happy seeing you guys be like, oh, yeah, WCPW didn't go. Look,
I'm not a WCPW loyalist. That's all him. I couldn't give a toss about WCPW.
I had a great time with that.
If you weren't involved in WCPW, working there was miserable. Let me tell you. You were an afterthought. Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, I had a famously class time at What Culture. Thank you, Ross. Cheers.
I'll say this.
I didn't. No, I'm joking.
I had lots of great times at Progress, but, man, they would really... change their tone whenever it was like you could tell the people who lived in London very easy for them to get to the events and everybody else had to travel going, can this event end please so we can all go to our trains or buses or whatever, and they're like, oh, it overran a bit, so what, real fans wouldn't complain. I'm like, we've got work in the morning, right? That was when we'd be like, I see.
That's not just exclusive to Progress. I think that London's a bit of a bubble, isn't it?
It's just some sort of weird London bubble where all the freaks and AEW are coming and running London next year. No. Oh, goody.
Now, his dad does run a football team in London, to be fair.
Oh, does he?
Well, he's doing it arse backwards, isn't he? Because we were reading a thing earlier. I don't know what the source was, but it was saying Dynamite is going to be at the Wembley Arena, not the stadium, the arena,
of course not, yeah.
Which has got like 12,500 capacity, I think. Then they're going to run Rampage, the Rampage.
Oh, yeah.
In Manchester.
Yeah, is that still true?
20,000 seats.
That was a rumor, I think. But is that being announced?
I don't know.
That hasn't been announced by them yet.
The news boys upstairs were reading someone's report.
Right.
And
I think
that was the latest.
It was insinuated that there'd be 2 shows, one in London, one in Manchester. But so far, they've only announced London. No date yet, I don't think.
No, just next year.
Just 2023 in the picture of Moxie and Acclaim, the Ricky Starks in front of the double-decker red buses, Big Ben. And it's like, okay. Dean Greggs.
Weirdly.
Avoiding eye contact with a big issue salesperson. Oh, it's England, all right.
Weirdly, like, I guess because it was Wales, not London, but Clash at the Castle was the least. It's the only one. It's the only wrestling show I can think of from an American promotion that hasn't gone like London buses and taxis and weird.
But right next to the stadium there is a castle. That's why it was Clash at the Castle. I didn't know that.
But could you see it?
Yeah, I walk past it when you go there.
Lovely.
You can go in it. I didn't. Becky Lynch's WrestleMania lorry was parked outside of it.
Oh.
Yeah, fun times.
So Trafalgar Square, what am I talking about? Just London and that in my head.
London, blah, blah, blah.
So, I mean, I'm excited though. We've slagged off AEW for about 3 months now, but I'm excited.
Oh yeah, go see it live, absolutely.
We've provided fair and unbiased commentary.
Of course we are.
And I'm sick of this narrative that we're being too negative about
Fair
AEW.
enough.
Yeah, I remember us being very positive when it was good.
I'm going to be positive about it today because last night's Dynamite was very good, I thought.
Good.
I thought there was lots to
I
sink your
thought
teeth into.
Rampage was good.
I can't remember Rampage. I'll have to look at my notes.
We'll get to Rampage. Before then, Gunther was set to be buried and sent back to NXT by Vince McMahon, according to the anonymous source. Give Me Sport. No, how does this work? Twitter account WrestleVotes gives the news to Give Me Sport.
Yeah, I don't really...
Right. And Louis Dangdor makes it up and gives it the WrestleVotes. Is that what
Louis who?
Oh.
No.
Louis Dangdor.
So WrestleVotes for some reason...
Pseudonym.
For some reason, WrestleVotes...
Like fake Diesel.
For some reason, they're in a partnership now where WrestleVotes will sometimes like leak big news itself on its own Twitter account, but then we'll sometimes give news to Give Me Sport, and then Give Me Sport will go, according to WrestleVotes. And I'm like, this is a bit of an unnecessary middleman.
But if we don't know who that person is it could be Give Me Sport going. It's almost like Matthew was Suddy. What's that, Suddy?
No.
Gunther was scheduled to go down NXT. Well, all right.
WrestleVotes gives it to Give Me Sport.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But who's WrestleVotes?
They they're reliable.
They have eyes and ears on the inside.
They've got things right loads.
Yeah.
But I don't understand Give Me Sport's role.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like to me, if I was in WrestleVotes' shoes, I would just pass off the stuff I wasn't too sure about to Give Me Sport and keep the good stuff for myself.
Genius.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Maybe that is what they're doing. We don't know. We can't say that. I don't know who WrestleVotes is.
WrestleVotes was someone we knew. It's not, but like imagine.
Puppet Jack. I saw you texting last night. It wasn't me. So yeah, Gunther was apparently going to go back down to NXT.
What do you think WrestleVotes looks like? I bet they're really handsome.
That's it.
Shoulder length hair, 6-pack. Yeah. Basically like the prince out of Shrek. On a horse.
WrestleVotes, let us know who you are, man.
Is that just Matt Riddle?
What? No. That's his weird little brother. What was I going to say?
Matt Diddle.
That was something I was...
Something about Gunther. Go on. Sorry.
Gunther wasn't Gunther made IC champion when Vince was still there. So I don't think that's 100% correct, that.
Which is why it's not WrestleVotes.
Yeah, they've passed off the bad news there.
They're the Ring of Honor to WrestleVotes' AEW.
So
I see how
why do you think that was... What's the...
But he wouldn't be made IC champion. He was going to get buried and taken off the roster, would he?
Maybe he would because Vince changed his mind like really fast.
But then you can say anything.
True.
Oh, that wacky Vince.
That's true.
Do I think he would have been presented as well as he has been in the Triple H era? No. Absolutely not. Because Triple H has nailed it. And Gunther.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's... whatever.
Fair enough.
Okada wants to wrestle The Rock.
Interesting.
Good.
I do as well.
Me too.
Because he's promoting The Rock's new movie, Black Adam. Okada lends his voice talent to the Japanese dub of the movie.
Oh.
So he says, it looks like he can fight. He looks like he can do it. I think we can have a match. Well, as a fellow pro wrestler, I'd like to have a match with him, Dwayne Johnson, said Okada. Oh.
Very good.
I don't think Dwayne will be game.
No, same.
No, someone tells me that's not going to happen. But some of that is to Aussie with Qatar. And, Progress is very successful run in Dubai. Also, the announcement then this week. How's Sunderland doing?
Dan, do you want to help? Sunderland are having a training camp in
are they?
somewhere in the Middle East, yeah.
Oh,
it's not like
nice.
we're owned by a nation state or anything, though. It's weird.
But you still accept their money.
No. Please stop. Let's just move on.
We're very eagerly anticipating
Sunderland
wins.
never I heard
Dan,
last year.
help. Well, what do we? What I can't believe Newcastle fans are equating this, pretending it's the same thing. Like, it's
It's exactly the same,
It's
isn't it,
pretty
Ross?
much the same.
It's definitely not the same.
We know it's the same great quality podcast content that we want to
No,
provide.
this isn't fair because Maffew only talks about football from the 90s, unless like,
Jack's going to go order his tickets to Dubai. And in the meantime, Tubman in Japan.
It's been a big week.
Oh, it looks like it. Not much to report this week. Oh, fair enough then. Unfortunately, I have some pictures of food I've ate you can use. Everyone likes food in it. Let me collect a few. Collect a few foods.
So Richards then went away and collected some pictures of soup and noodles with an egg, a raw egg on top, it looks like.
Yeah, hang on.
And some sort of dumpling, maybe, pork ball, I don't know, some sort of ball device.
Yeah.
He's got a bowl full of ramen and some soup and some vegetables in the middle there with a nice stein of lager. Some sort of curry, maybe, with some pasta on the side. Is this? I don't know.
Oh, we've got that kettle.
Noodles. I can see noodles when I see them. I don't know what that is on the left-hand side, but that pink spirally thing looks a bit suspect. Do you not think? What's that? What is that? Some sort of cabbage?
You get 10 points. Fire energy.
If anyone knows, let us know in the comments down below.
It looks delicious. Oh, there's even more.
He's
God,
been
you
everywhere
know
this week. How cheap's the food over there? It must be family dining out like this. What, 450 yen? Oh, that's with lemon. Yeah. I don't know what that was. Something with lemon. We should open a cookery show. And
This is great.
Then he has some sort of chicken parmo there, maybe, or isn't it an omelette?
That's a pasty.
It's an
Oh,
omelette.
I know a pasty. Oh,
An omelette with too much tomato sauce on top, I would argue.
with a red Rizzler on top. Like Mama used to make. Wow, he's been eating, Tubman.
He's going to be a fat bastard when he comes home.
He won't be because he's biking everywhere.
That's why he said it, aye. Just to bike off, shed his bike. No. He'll use his bike to shed off that. Yes, that's how exercise works.
And come back looking exactly the same. Thank you very much. That was Tubman in Japan.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
Time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. In condescending order from last week, the man who ate rotisserie chicken for 40 days. That's one chicken a day, 40 days, like Noah.
Protein.
Absolutely. 19%. Ooh. Must be probably his fat levels right now. Roll for sandwich, you get 29%. Oh.
Not captivated by the man and his roulette. What was it? A roulette wheel?
No, the name for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Aye.
actually a thing to make you roll the dice easier. We've been waiting for that thing to fix our lives, I guess. But
a hand.
29%. Chris Jericho, not hiding the fact he's Chris Jericho very well at all on The Masked Singer. 53%.
He did a second one. Did we cover the second one last week?
We covered All Star.
Yeah, All Star was the second one.
Oh, yeah. And he
His
got the
first.
lyrics wrong. And he was British, and he kept them cutting the stupid Americans going, I think he's British. Wow, what a great show that is. 53%.
I think he tweeted about it today or yesterday for when this goes live. So he's confirmed it's him. So we know that for sure now.
He's confirmed with Dave Meltzer that it's him. Great.
Dave Meltzer has reported it is him. It is he, Chris Jericho.
And it also said in Wrestling Observer, Chris Jericho did a wonderful job on Masked Singer, hiding his identity.
Backstage morale was apparently an all-time high at the show.
At the Masked Singer, it's never been better backstage. No one was getting into fights. Oh, it's beautiful. So, as the winner of last week's Hall of Fame, you get this week's as well. Ross, what have you got for us?
I'm going to go for a bit. I was trying to think of a wrestling-centric one and what has stuck out in my mind this week. And I'm going to go for AEW Dynamite because I thought last night's episode of Dynamite...
Wait. The entire show?
The entire show.
Oh, okay.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed last night's Dynamite. And honestly, the comments of saying we're too harsh on AEW as a whole, they're really starting to bug me a bit because I don't think we are. I think that when we say things that we like when we see it, and when we don't like something, I think we're equally as heavy-handed. So I thought last night's Dynamite, the wrestling action with AR Fox, Bandido.
Yes.
What else happened there? The Moxley promo at the end with MJF, I thought was good. Samoa Joe's promo.
I was going to say that was
It was
nice.
a banger of an episode, and hopefully this is a sign of it getting back on track, leaving all the bollocks behind them. So Dynamite for the Hall of Fame. Because it has been a rocky year, but there has been highlights, but there has been lowlights. But last night was a highlight.
Yeah.
So let's catch the stars while they are falling.
Right.
That's how the saying goes.
Exactly. When you go on holiday and, twice a day during the 2 weeks you might be there, it starts raining.
Yeah.
You're going to focus. You're not going to go, well, okay, there's still some stuff to enjoy, but you're not going to ignore the fact that it's hoying it down.
No.
So I think people are getting mad at us for simply pointing out it's raining.
Yes.
So, as we said, many good things about the magnificent wrestlers, the magnificent wrestling boots, Roosh, Bandido, and all the other people you just said there, not since naming the entire roster again. Yeah, it's just not the parts, it's just the way that we're being used.
Yeah.
So, and they are getting somewhat more organized. I wouldn't say it was a return to form or anything like that, but
it's only 1 week in it,
and obviously the announcement last night that the big news is the Elite are returning.
They are.
That'll hopefully get them some, much needed stability in booking progress.
Yeah, and I was saying, because I know a lot of people would be like, oh, they're coming back, they're going to beat the Death Triangle. I wouldn't mind it, mate, because since they've won the trios titles, they've sort of disappeared a bit, haven't they? They do the backstage segments where Pac's like, oh, the hammer, rear the hammer. He loves it. But apart from that, they haven't really done much, have they? So I wouldn't mind them dropping them and getting off onto a storyline. That's the thing that needs to come back, I feel. It's just the proper, nice, juicy, long storylines.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
I'm going for Dynamite, though.
I can see that as I think that's like me trying to nominate Logan Paul a few weeks ago. It's just like, look, he was good. Ha ha! Can't criticize us now, you get. So well done, Ross. A very strategic big day. You'd be good at the game of Risk, I think.
It'll blow up in my face, no doubt.
Which AEW's pay-per-view this Saturday. The worst pay-per-view they've ever put on. But yeah, not a good one. Mine is a bit weird this week. So I'm going to point to the screen. Does that work? Almost. Oh, seamless. There we go.
What?
Lots of crazy stuff happens on Twitter on a daily basis, mostly about Twitter itself, actually, right now. But I think this is like their last gasp. The last season. He's got it's a mixed bag, but there's a few good ones. Yeah. So someone was posting about something I haven't thought of quite some time because I'm a grown adult, believe it or not. Yeah, thank you for laughing when I said fully grown adult. You get man behind the camera. Ooh, you're not scrummy at all.
Hey, Dan, you're going to have to pick one this week if Jack doesn't return.
Hey, he's stuck in the booking office right now, Jack. It's a queue to get the buy, apparently. But anyway, on topic, Ross.
Yes.
Playmobil. Now, did you ever play with any Playmobil?
Of course I played with Playmobil. I was a child in the early to mid-90s.
Of course.
Yes.
Lots of kids did. Now, I wasn't aware until someone started this thread of just how bizarre some of the toy sets were. And this lovely person here has created a lot of them. Quote, I'm thinking about the worst Playmobil sets to ever exist. And, quote, Prussian police officer harassing a homeless man is definitely up there. And the thing that all kids love playing with was it's a Prussian police officer, usually spiked helmet and sword, dealing with what appears to be a man having a lovely time out in the one of the many parks.
Nice hat.
Yes, and his stick with a bag attached to it. So, he's having a good time. So that's one of them. Can you scroll down, please? Oh, TSA agents. Scanning people, make sure they're not bringing anything illegal through the plane, I guess. Yeah, there we go. I'll read the captions a bit off there.
Oh, my God.
Bohemian executioners with the red hood, so you don't know the identity, and axe. These are real. These aren't these like weird Photoshop sets, by the way. These are real Playmobil things.
Weird that he was the Survivor Series 96, wasn't he?
He'll never look better. And a few more. The Hazmat Team.
That's cool, that one. I can see
You
a
know
kid
what?
being, yeah.
Yeah, and look, there's that, toxic spillage.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you like?
If you were a parent, you would fill that with water, wouldn't you? And just go, oh, there's something really toxic in here. Whoops! Your face is burning, ha!
The bomb diffuser. Oh, the little toy. They have names, the little bomb diffusers.
I know what you...
Yeah.
The acne.
Yeah.
The Roadrunner.
As soon as you hear the noise of the bomb out go, holds a sign, the camera's saying, uh-oh.
That noise, yeah.
Martin Luther, for some reason.
Who the hell is Martin Luther?
Oh, a very famous religious person. That'll go the long. I don't know why I got a toy version of him. But anyway. And the favorite bit. This is one. Big one. This one will end on because I didn't have this myself, but I definitely had a mate who had some home around the house as a kid. The Emperor Trajan has deemed it essential that the rabble learn of savagery and nations, and this shall be demonstrated through 40 days of the bloodiest combat between them and the wildest beasts in all the empire. None shall be spared for the kids. And if we go to the right, see the other one.
Brutal murders. It's what they would want.
The gladiator set with With real gladiators in by real lions.
That's
and,
impressive.
And a hungry horse, apparently.
How you got your man getting run over by the horses to be at that angle? That's impressive.
He's a stunt man. Like a Secrets of Wrestling reveal.
You never.
God.
I just remember a fire engine. That's all I remember from my youth playing with whatever it was called, Playmobil.
Oh, so yeah, the weirdness of Playmobil is my pick for Hall of Fame this week.
Weirdness of Playmobil.
Unleashed a lot of memories I'd not thought about for quite some time. What are you watching on TV at the minute, Dan?
Nothing. I've been in the office.
Nothing?
Yeah,
All right.
Very bad.
What's that film you watched, Dan?
Can't remember. I watched MASH.
You sound like his father there. What's the last
really
film
am.
you watched,
I'm
Dan?
trying to get your security password. What was the last album you listened to or song you listened to?
The new Taylor Swift one, the one about sexy babies.
Go on then.
What? Dan has suggested, because he's so smart and clever and technical and down with the kids, that the Taylor Swift song, which is, quote, about sexy babies.
No, it's got the line about sexy babies.
Oh,
What is
okay.
the line about sexy babies?
Apparently, the sexy baby is a term for just a good-looking young woman.
Right.
So not an infant.
So just to clarify, a sexy baby is not a sexy baby. A sexy baby is just a good-looking young lady.
Stop saying it, Ross.
So Dan is nominating
What's the name of the song?
Anti-hero. is the song.
Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero.
By Taylor Swift.
I might be the first 0%.
What if it wins?
I mean, are you a sexy baby? Let us know in the comments down below. I think our percentage of female viewership is quite low, so the odds of that are quite small. But you never know.
Shawn Michaels could watch this.
Yeah.
I'm a sexy baby. So
Vince
he thinks
McMahon.
she's cute.
Vince McMahon, is he?
Sean talked like that in his 20s. God bless him.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway, so a very odd bag.
Let's have a look at what the lyrics are, because I need to get to the bottom of this. Why? Just click the lyrics there,
I
Dan.
think I'm cute.
Full lyrics.
Oh, sorry.
Is there like a genius thing?
I have this thing where I get older,
Where does it say sexy baby?
but just never wiser. Midnights become my
Sometimes I feel
afternoons.
like everybody is a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill.
Oh my God.
That's a Playmobil set.
She couldn't have, for people who don't know like what the modern day vernacular of the sexy baby actually means, that she couldn't have worded that any poorly, could she?
Oh, I love Genius.com.
Being a monster on the hill looking at the sexy babies. There you go. There's the three options, Maffew.
The 3 picks for Hall of Fame. 2 and a bit picks for Hall of Fame this week are AEW Dynamite. Just as a last night's, or do you mean all of them?
I'll go for last night's AEW Dynamite, or this week's, it'll say on the
Name it
poll.
like the Getting Better AEW
Yeah,
Dynamite.
because it's getting better.
The Getting Better AEW Dynamite on the always positive Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
Yes.
Followed up by Dodgy Playmobil Set.
We were going for the weirdness of Playmobil, yeah?
Yeah,
The
just
weirdness of Playmobil.
They went, well, what are kids like? Gladiators, executioners,
The homeless.
the homeless. Yes. Ollies and yours.
TSA.
Just your nearest Argos. And also Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero. That is the lineup this week. And you can find those picks. Yeah, willingly. You have to go and find this. Patreon.com/Cultaholic.
This is This Week in the Wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This week in wrestling. Start with SmackDown. Original Viking material. Oh, that's good, because they're not. The Usos beat the New Day to preserve their record-breaking tag team title reign. They're congratulated by Roman backstage. And what a lovely, lovely scrummy match to start off SmackDown
It
with.
was wonderful. They had the Usos being nearly, nearly? They were on their knees. No, they were being gnarly
Bam
heels.
Neely was there.
Gnarly heels is what I was trying to say. And then the Usos being really fancy and high flying and whatnot. It was a wonderful juxtaposition. A classic heel and babyface tag team match. Xavier Woods not only got the hot tag in this one and proved once again why he's one of the best wrestlers in kayfabe in the world today, but he also kicked out of the double splash spot.
Yep.
And I was thinking he's come a long way, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Remember the days? Just the sight of Bray Wyatt makes me think of Xavier Woods going like, ah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see how far he's come. I've written down here, I like the way it ebbed and flowed. The Usos looked like they had it with a double splash, then the New Day with the Midnight Hour on Jimmy, but neither of them did. And it was a lovely finish out of nowhere. And I think that's the best way to end like matches like this of such stakes, to have like bump and then end, because no one really looks weak, do they?
Yep.
Just like they got him. They got him.
There's lots of scrambling. Like, oh, it's going to be, oh, it's not going to be, oh, and it's like, wow, where they could possibly do it. They
Yeah.
could possibly change it. And I think they did a really good job, considering they had this Survivor Series and the big one in Saudi Arabia, that's what they call it, to balance all these things out. Just a random episode of SmackDown. Oh, yeah, by the way, historical tag team title.
Yeah. Usos.
Potentially Unless they don't have a match on Raw.
If they got a match on... I thought that was like the conclusive... like.
I thought it was as well. And someone said, well, they could be all right unless something happens on Raw. Okay.
That'd be nice if it did, though.
Yeah.
But there was a wonderful camera shot right at the end of the match because there's a young lass in the crowd like, oh... And then the split, like 2 or 3 seconds that the camera's on her, she goes like, oh, fair enough, yeah. I should have picked her for the whole thing. Wonderful, balanced reaction.
Yeah, good Swiftie. In the first round of the World Cup, Santos Escobar beat Nakamura with some help from Legado del Fantasma at ringside.
We had Michael Cole plugging that Muta match that Nakamura's in.
I was going to say.
My God. I've just written down here that the massive finish was impressive. It was a bit of a ding-dong battle, but I assume we're leaving the 5-star matches for later in the tournament, which is probably the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, after the one we just had with Uday and Usos, it's like, someone said, weird, oh, you two guys just, take it easy out there.
Go in second gear. Don't go into third.
Nakamura's like, okay.
Let me get my surfboard. That's just us reacting off the back of those rumors he's only there to go surfing. Remember those from like years ago when he wasn't getting booked at all? And it was like, he's only there just to collect the money and go surfing. He's happy. Just leave him alone. I never fully believe them. I don't know about you.
I think people just, obviously, if they watch him in New Japan and then watch him, obviously, he had that banger with Sami Zayn. And it's like, okay, we have that every time. And that wasn't quite what we got. But now remember, the schedule's a lot harder in WWE than it is over there, over to seas. So I imagine like people going, I can't believe he's wrestling different. It's like, no, we can.
He'd probably have to, don't he?
Yeah.
Probably have to. Of course you have to, Ross. Silly man.
Backstage, LA Knight. Sorry, who's written this? The Rock's interview is interrupted by Bray Wyatt flashing imagery on the screen in the background. Well, flashing lights will do that, I guess. Knight is annoyed, but gets confronted by Bray himself, who says he sees the anger inside of Knight. Knight doesn't care, tells Bray to go screw himself. So Bray nuts him. And then he walks off, and then Knight's like, where did he go? Which is weird.
You know what my first thought was?
What was it, Ross?
Is Bray Wyatt going to recruit The Rock? Because when he was like, how far are you willing to go? I was like, is he going to try and like push him to a certain point and then recruit him to be part of his Wyatt 6 or whatever the bloody hell is going to be? I don't know. But it was fantastic to see that Bray Wyatt obviously can't handle the Kavolka, all those damn baby blues. And also the line where he was like, stick your puppets anywhere that gives you pleasure. Doesn't matter to me. No one else could say that to Bray Wyatt and get away with it.
Yeah.
I know he got a headbutt for his troubles, but he lived to tell the tale.
It was worth it, though. Yeah. Weird segments like LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind the promo battles building to a little match there where LA Knight undoubtedly gets eaten.
Bray Wyatt talks for 15 minutes about nothing. LA Knight goes, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Here's my chickadees and my Corvette and the Kavolka within the Corvette. That's how it works.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
We get a 6-pack challenge match to determine the next number 1 contender between Lacey Evans, Shotzi, Xia Li, Sonya Deville, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan. And awkwardly, they had some of the entrances, then they did the LA Knight Bray Wyatt bit. So I guess the last is just like...
All right, and they're on the edge of their seats in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they did indeed have seats in the ring.
Happy to be here.
I don't know about you, Maffew, but before we pull it apart and with analysis and whatnot, I was thinking to myself, it's Veterans Day. Lacey Evans is there. She's a shoo-in to win. But she got pinned.
Because she's not very good. Yeah. This was a wild match. 6-pack challenge is always interesting, so guaranteed lots of action. Liv Morgan, a bit on the outside, where a table was set up. And awkwardly, they're doing this thing with Liv Morgan, where she's suddenly...
She's Sabu.
Hardcore. Yeah, she's Sabu. And all it's done is transfer the pops she could get, the Kavolka she'd get from the crowd, and it's transferred it to the weapon shot and the tables. So she comes out, she gets a yay pop, gets a table, yay table, and it's like, oh no.
It seems like a diminishing return sort of like gimmick to have, because you're just going to have to do bigger and bigger stuff.
Right.
And then eventually you can't do that, otherwise you're going to legitimately hurt yourself.
Right. She's not over. The weapons are, which is like, okay. So then the even more awkward bit of this is, well, they better be good. And the spot they did was not good. Raquel Rodriguez was getting ready to set one of them up onto something. And then here she comes, Liv, with the wild dive. That didn't do anything. And then they all sold it like they had gone through. And then Shotzi got the victory.
Yeah, it felt like what was supposed to happen was Raquel catch Liv in like a fall-away slam position, then sort of just take a back bump through the table. But she didn't know that Liv was coming. Or maybe Liv was a bit too soon. So when Liv got there, she was like, ah! and didn't react in time to catch her, so they all just fell down. I don't think it's the worst thing that's ever happened, but I think Liv going for it in the first place was a bit weird because Raquel was about to murder Sonya, wasn't she?
Yeah.
That's who she was fighting on the stairs. So Liv did not do anything.
But she's wild and crazy. Table.
Hey, I prefer to just sit back and do as little as I can on anything I do. That's what I would be saying there. Because that was the best bit of it for me was Sonya's performance. I just like the fact she didn't really do any moves. She kicked and punched for a bit. But whenever anyone was there to get pinned, she was in there like swimwear.
Yeah.
Good that. And I thought that Xia Li looked good as well. Where's she been? Why is she not being used? The most electrifying lady in sports entertainment.
I don't know. I think it's just because they put her in the back seat so they can have everyone else get there, look good. But now, okay, Natalie's off for a bit. We need some people, some numbers. Hey, Xia Li.
They've got a lot to do with Shotzi, though. I liked her finish with the hooking of the leg and the DDT. That was gnarly. But with her being like just a contender for Ronda in a one-on-one match, I'm not buying it right now as we're sat here on the 18th of November. So they've got some work to do before the of November when Survivor Series is.
That's right. So apart from Liv Morgan flying like Buzz Lightyear, at least Shotzi looked nice.
Yeah.
Backstage, Emma, who was change her outfit. No, I had to go, who's that? Oh, right. Going after the Shotzi and asks her if she's seen Madcap Moss around. And obviously, Shotzi reacts like a normal human being by going, you fancy him?
You fancy your own boyfriend?
Yeah.
I guess in kayfabe it's not her own boyfriend, but we all know it, don't we, as wrestling fans?
I didn't know it until they said it.
Really? I found out a little while ago on the gram. Instagram. But I did like the fact that she just turned around. She goes, where's my boyfriend? Well, not where's Madcap? Turns around, choked. I like that. Shayna and Ronda are doing it well, apart from when Ronda was like, clean up on aisle green, because she's got green hair.
But they don't call them green aisles, do they?
They're numbered, aren't they?
Yeah, so that didn't...
3 green.
You singing? Yeah.
They're a close rhyme, it counts, I guess, maybe.
Ronda was like good on the mic for a bit.
Yeah, when she just had to go at wrestling fans.
Yeah. It would be good if she just choked out Emma and she's on the floor. It's like, I don't know, I haven't seen Madcap Moss, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ricochet is excited for his World Cup match against Mustafa Ali, but Imperium arrive and intimidate him.
Good. Yeah, I don't know what you say there. That's what happened.
And Ricochet starts talking to him and Gunther's like, are you kidding us? why are you cocky?
As we said it earlier on, but the presentation of Gunther has been spot on.
The ring general.
Yeah. Ricochet continues to be a little weird man who cares more about like being liked backstage than he does about winning titles and other things, matches. Yeah. It's all about checks and championships, kid. They will probably say on commentary.
Yeah, and he's got neither of them. Jinder Mahal cuts an in-ring promo, by God, about how tonight he begins a return to the very top. He's then absolutely squashed by Braun Strowman, who progresses in the World Cup.
I love this setup for this match because Jinder's there going, I'm here, this, that, and the other. I'm Jinder Mahal. There is no man that can stop me. And he's surprisingly cut off by his scheduled opponent who he knows is coming to the ring. Anytime, the look of shock on Jinder's face was absolutely spot on. Where's he been as well? What's going on? Has he been injured? Yeah.
And he's just keeping these people around.
I like a bit of Jinder, me. I think he's effective at what he does. Yeah. I know you can't have Corbin and Jinder on the same roster, but if one's on Raw, one's on SmackDown, similar roles, that's fine for me. Wade Barrett was my only note, because it was a very, very short match, wasn't it? When Wade Barrett was like getting Strowman's like drawn Brazil in the first round, it's the one everyone wanted to avoid. And I was like, they've left Joe Linton at home. They picked Fred over Joe Linton. Brazil, even though I got them in the office sweepstake. Come on, Brazil. They're not a threat. The head coach is a tool. Mm-hmm. If anything, though, the match could have done with more flippies and floppies.
I was about to say, like, further, these, they're doing the AEW Woo. This is a metaphor thing as squashing the legendary luchador known as Jinder Mahal. So,
you know what I completely missed from last week's Dynamite, which was referenced on Jeff Jarrett's podcast this week, which I put on when getting into bed, was the skinny jeans, red skinny jeans line. Completely went past me, that did.
Yeah.
Didn't think of Braun's, even though it's obvious, because, he's the only big man who wears, he's a make-believe giant or whatever he said, didn't he? So.
Yeah, he talked about it, and I'm like, well, wait. We get why the elite talk about them because, they're, And some of them used to work there, so it's like, oh, at least we're not those guys. But like Jeff Jarrett,
he took offense to the flippies and floppies line on Twitter because the large bit of the business is built on these flippy and floppy men.
Jeff Jarrett's taken up.
He says I took offense to that
because he flips and flops from company to company.
Just imagine him cartwheeling down the highways.
Dude,
I'm coming, Tony.
La Magistral to the last ever Flair match. Yeah, whatever. Thanks, Jeff. We salute you. B-Fab is about to have a singles match against Selena Vega. But the Viking Raiders and Sarah Logan arrive and destroy both groups.
This made me think, how many times can we re-debut the Vikings with something slightly different and expect it to work? Because that's like the fourth re-debut I think they've had. They were the new and Vicious.
Oh, God, the Viking Experience.
The Viking Experience. Then they re-debuted with a slightly different name. Then they came back. I feel like they came back earlier this year with after, was it Ivar was injured for ages? I guess you can't avoid that sort of stuff happens.
Oh, yeah, that really quick handicap match.
Yeah, but it
And a
feels
clothesline against Omos on Raw. Then they came out, wrestled New Day about 50 times.
It feels like if this doesn't work with Sarah Logan getting involved as, I guess, Valhalla maybe her name. I know it's the thing that the Vikings, all that sort of stuff.
Viking funeral maybe, just on fire in a boat.
Aye, but if this doesn't work, I don't know where you go with the Vikings. Maybe just go back to them not being Vikings. Maybe just big hard men. And Sarah Logan. Yeah. I saw a lot of people. Well, we did a news bit on it because a few wrestlers were kicking off because of her looking slightly similar to a fellow professional wrestler. But since then, I've learned about a video game where that look is very much commonplace and a film where that look is commonplace.
Yep.
So maybe it's not an issue at all. Is it an issue, Maffew? You tell me.
I think people are looking for a reason to rag on Sarah Logan, and this is a good one as any. Or as they called her, obviously he's staying from Max the Impaler. So my favorite one was Anti-Vax the Impaler. What does that mean? I don't know. Don't look at Sarah Logan's Instagram or likes or anything like that. Just saying, Sarah. So she must have been vaccinated if she's with WWE, right?
If she goes abroad, I guess that's when we'll find out. Because that was the big thing, wasn't it?
They're going via boat anyway.
Pedalo. Ivar and...
See you in 3 weeks. The Bloodline arrive for the Usos' acknowledgement celebration. They're interrupted by the Brawling Brutes, who say they've brought backup. And it's old Jimmy from the pub with his flat cap and his... No, it's not. Of course, it's Sheamus, who's had all of 2 weeks off. Bless him. And here we go. Great. Sheamus is back. The Brawling Brutes. Sign up for Survivor Series. This will be so great. Go on, Sheamus. Take it away. Bloody microphone. And I thought, it's a setup because Roman Reigns was like, why should I be scared of you? You can't even get your microphone to work. Your microphone, it's going to look like Ellsworth and all the rest. And he went, discharge. So magnificent production here.
I tell you what though, because earlier in the night there was a bit backstage with the Bloodline, and Roman was like, "We've got some business to do later tonight" or something like that, and he starts embracing them. Like Jimmy gives a little casual handshake too. Solo, they're pretty much the same thing, and then Jay, he gives a long embrace too. So I was like, he's going to do it. He's going to kick him out the Bloodline this final, because it was billed as, what was it? The
acknowledgement,
a special moment. Roman's special moment is what it was called.
Roman's special.
So I feel like with the long embrace.
Was it really called?
Yeah, it was called that. The long embrace on Jay at the start of the show. I was thinking he's going to kick him out. He's going to say goodbye and kick him out. But no, I don't know what the actual special moment was. Where's Sami? Where's Sami Zayn, by the way? That's another thing we need. Where's he gone? What's happened?
All the news things I looked at was just he's dealing with something personal, and that was as vague as that. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's like, it's not just because of the whole Saudi Arabia thing.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
But he's still not here. And it's like, okay. So if they say, look, it's personal, it's like, okay, let's leave this alone then.
Yeah. But I guess the special moment was going to be him finally acknowledging the Usos. But then he got cut off by the Brawling Brutes.
How dare they? Those heels, the Brawling Brutes.
Yeah. If it's not going to be Kevin Owens, who do you think it's going to be taking on the babyface side?
So obviously Drew McIntyre came out to even the odds, so that leaves one last person. And that's not going to do anything daft like having Sami Zayn.
You know who I want it to be?
Not Madcap.
I want them just to go all the way to the show with it being 4-on-5, and then Wade, who's been on commentary all night long, just gets up. I've got some bad news for you.
Oh no! The horniest commentator in the history of WWE.
He shags them in the cage. No, because I saw I was on Instagram again, because Austin's Instagram workouts have been sending everyone into a tizzy. He's coming back, WrestleMania, this, that, and the other.
It's coming.
Wade Barrett's been on the gram lifting, doing some deadlifts and whatnot, and he looks like he could still go, so I wouldn't mind that at all. I know it's not going to happen, but, if you can't fantasy book as a wrestler, what hope is there?
You know what? I think when we used to do this a few years ago, it's like, why are we all doing this? None of these oldie wrestlers are coming back. How dare you? What, you mean to tell me Flair's having a last match? Austin's having a last match? Oh, don't be... Wade Barrett. It's so likely, isn't it?
Yeah, wait, the links there with Sheamus and Drew, obviously. From that, which video game was it? Where they were all on the same team.
Yeah. The one with Randy Orton in the front cover, 2K12 or
whatever it was. Yeah. Who was it?
They kept the United Kingdom stable, and it's Sheamus holding it. Hang on, Your Honor.
So I wouldn't mind that, but because I'm just as a baby face. I mean, Ricochet would be good in that match, just because he jumps off high stuff. But
oh yeah, someone's got to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was. Oh, also, I got a little confused because Heyman started talking about great feuds in the world of sport. Not that world of something else. The world of sport, like America versus England in soccer.
Yeah.
And I had to go,
They're playing each
wait,
other.
hang on. And I asked, I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, no, the women's.
Oh.
I went, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. If you got, fair enough then. So I was like, we're not feuding with them, are we?
And they're in our group for the World Cup. That might be a bit of foreshadowing.
But oh, yeah.
I think they've got a few decent players. As long as Garrett's not too negative, we
It's
should
the
win them.
principle of it. Like, oh wait, we drew them one time in 2010.
Yeah, Rob Green chucked it in.
Like,
Terrible.
oh wait, now it's a feud, is it? Oh, okay. And I think when I was asking about Twitch, they were like, I think America see England the same way that Germany see England when it comes to football. Oh, you're our rivals?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't know about this. I was doing that bit on Mike Bassett, Football Manager.
Which
when-
bit?
We were interviewing Pele, and he's like, so which teams do you think are going to win the World Cup? And he names every other country apart from England. And he comes, how about this one? And
I always wonder how they got him for that film. It's Pele?
money.
Oh, but how much money did they have?
It's Pele. You know.
Yeah, it was a wonderful film. Still is a wonderful film.
AEW Rampage, subtitled Cole Carter is the main character of AEW. By the way, I didn't realize until checking Cage Match that he had more matches in AEW prior to NXT than he did like in NXT.
What? When? How?
Cole Carter was just a random dude.
Just
in
on
6
Dark
months-
and Dark
Yeah,
Elevation?
Dark and like, not like, yeah, sorry. Yeah, the shows that don't tend
That
to be
seems
that way.
impossible because he looks 12 years old, so he would have been wrestling on those shows when he was 10. That is
Yeah.
a staggering statistic, though.
Like working for Qatar. Christian and Luchasaurus call out Jungle Boy, who challenges Luchasaurus to a cage match at Full Gear. Christian accepts but insults Jungle Boy's dad. Jungle Boy grabs him, but Luchasaurus is on hand to beat him down and chokeslam him onto a chair. Well, whatever, semantics. Yeah, I actually liked Christian just outwork everybody because he's just being a dick and doing nothing.
Yeah.
He's getting other people to do it.
He's got his right-handed destruction.
Yeah, and I like that he was just goading Jungle Boy and Tony going like, no, don't fall for it, kid, because Luchasaurus is this close to him. He's like, go on, do something, do something. It's like, haha, your dad, I'm going to have sex with your mum. He's like, why? There we go. So
The only bit I was a bit like when Jungle Boy was like, I've lost everything. I was like, you've lost your pal. That's not that much, is it? Really? In the grand scheme of things caused by Christian. I thought it was fine. I like the cage match being brought in because obviously Christian can't climb the thing unless that's a lie. Imagine if that was a lie and you just start climbing it like Action Man.
but then he does and goes, I'm too old for this. Comes down.
So I like the fact the cage match is being brought in to keep that no good turtleneck out.
Yeah.
Damn turtleneck.
I won't be able to do it with the turtleneck on. It's like, it's like electricity, you'll just melt him.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how they're going to put him down for good again. Because remember the last time they put him down for good?
Yeah.
A flat back bump in the middle of the ring. Don't remember. It was really funny. But it was really good opening segment, I thought.
The man's a dinosaur. Also, Luchasaurus will be there. Never gets old. I'm sorry. But yeah, effective segment building up to a match I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Full Gear. Pac again tried to convince the Luchasaurus, Jesus, the Lucha Brothers to be a dirty diddler like him to keep the trio's belts.
We were saying on the pictures video, it feels like there's a bit more of the story needs to go on before Pac needs to resort to this because they've been winning all the time. So why would you need to change a winning formula? But, it's nice to see he's corrupt, isn't he? Not like that. Not like the World Cup. It's nice to see he's trying to make his pals just take shortcuts and whatnot.
He's not corrupt, like Newcastle. Yeah. But we are winning every match, but we could win them even easier if we did this.
Yeah.
It's like we are mint, but we could be minter.
I bet Tony Khan was fuming though when he starts going like on the championship. That must have chipped it a bit, surely. He hit that hammer pretty hard on that title.
He points a hammer at someone and goes, I'll smash your pasty.
That means something completely different from where I'm from.
I know. I thought I'd get that. I thought I'd put that underneath the radar.
That means intercourse, Maffew.
Oh, no. Well, don't I look foolish? Brian Cage beats Dante Martin to progress in the World Title Eliminator Tournament. And it's annoying how I'm liking Brian Cage now after I was sick of him when he was last year because he was just one match Andy.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, he's all right.
It's the ideal opponent for him, though, Dante.
Exactly.
Oh, when Dante does the tope, catches him in the suplex, down he goes.
Yep.
Fantastic stuff. The reversal out the fireman's carry position into a DDT by Dante. Again, the perfect opponent for him. The muscle, what I've called it here was the muscle pose effinator off the top rope. You know what I mean if you saw the match. That was a fantastic move. And I love the final stretch of the match as well, where Cage is like, oh, bollocks of this fancy stuff. You just starts going, smash Dante. And then the finish was good as well. What was that called?
Oh, I used to know the name of it.
What the hell? It was a good move, though.
Yeah. But yeah, he's wrestling more like a big man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good, do that. Stop pretending to be a flippy floppy dude.
He's the same
Be a
height.
bit more Braun Strowman.
I didn't expect him to be the same height as Dante, though. That was amazing, that. You just assume that Dante's going to be like 6 inches smaller.
Right.
He could be.
Sort of width.
Yeah.
Backstage, Lee Moriarty wants gold. He's interrupted by Hook, who used to be a pirate called Captain Hook, who also wants gold, I guess, buried treasure somewhere. Setting up an FTW title match in the future. The future.
Hook still likes crisps.
Good.
I think they were trying to get him a deal, weren't they, this week on Twitter? I think it was Stokely Hathaway was trying to make something happen with it. Is it Lay's, I think it was, the brand they went for? You might as well.
The Irish ones?
No, it's what Walker's is called in America, isn't it?
Oh.
Lay's.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Lay's? Is it Lay's, Dan?
Something like that,
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Oh, Mr. Tato. I'm thinking of. I'm
different.
getting them two mixed up. Sorry. Whatever. If you could be sponsored by a crisp company or a particular flavour,
I would go McCoy's. I like a thick, ridged crisp. Or you get those Walker's crisps that are like proper thick and ridged, and they're like, it's the barbecue rib flavour.
Yeah,
They come in the big bags.
Yeah.
Those ones. I like a thick, ridged crisp. You? Ridge Holland.
Ooh, the thick ridge crisp. Prawn cocktail or Worcester sauce.
Yeah. Prawn
can get
cocktail's the best Walker's flavour.
Yeah, Worcester sauce is like almost like those rare ones. Like, it shouldn't be rare, but like not every shop.
It's a shiny card, haha.
I stopped myself, like, say a Pokemon, Maffew. Like, Ross isn't going to get it. Shiny card, there we
Doesn't
go.
matter if I don't get it. Thousands out there will. That's how it goes on this podcast.
Dozens saying, shut up, you idiot. Roosh faces Bandito in the tournament. Jose, the assistant, tries to help, but Long John Silver, it's not for the Pirates on this bloody show, saves the day. Bandito wins. Of course, Roosh wasn't going to lose the bloody Bandito clean, but yeah, Bandito, and a lovely little banger. And the crowd, like a lot of recent AEW shows, it has to be said, wasn't the loudest that they have been over the last few months, to say the least. But yeah, they were alive for this one towards the end. It was almost like, all right, polite, we know who you are, because Bandito's been signed, like 5 times, I think they announced that.
Really?
They kept on like, Bandito has signed. You're like, oh, they signed
There was
like
a big old, alleged tug of war for his signature this year between AEW and WWE. So he's picked the AEW side after that match with Jericho. I didn't realize it was so many times.
It seemed like that. Like, oh, he signed, bloody hell. But this was a lovely little match.
Yeah. It was to show you how good it was, Jim Ross. It's when Roosh does the one-legged dropkick thing. I think he slipped a bit, didn't he? But he recovered.
He recovered.
And then Jim Ross is just like, what the hell was that? That shows you how good a match it was, because he just didn't know what to say. I just get a bit frustrated watching Roosh, me, because there's too much. I know it's all tranquilo and all that sort of stuff, but it's a bit too much of it for me. I'm like, why would you not be battering him when you could, instead of just going, He loves role play, though, doesn't he? Hey. Yeah, bonjour.
Ça va. I like those bits the most. It's been a cock
You see,
end.
perspectives, it's what makes the world go round.
Exactly, because we have enough of these people on the roster who could do these cool moves. Hey, Brian Cage, whatever. But it's having a dude like that just do the, like, hey, mid-match.
He did like 5 different, like, heys, didn't he? Just a bit much for me.
One for every language.
And I was asking as well, why would Hungy come down and get himself involved when they've made it clear they're not interested? It's fine. You can keep coming at us. We're not bothered. But he's now made it an issue.
He's clearly bothered.
Yes,
That's exactly it, Ross. Well, one, because, lose the clean. But also, yeah. Hey, how about instead of you interfering in us and insisting on getting number 10, even though we insist he's not Luchador, he just wears a mask. Yeah, so one time they come out and actually make it even. Obviously, this is like a quite WWE finish, but it makes sense. So I wasn't just, hey, I'm here for no reason.
I would have just stayed away. Just let them come at us if you want. We're not interested.
Wait, like, yeah, I don't care about you. Turns around. Number 10! Backstage, Jake Hager tries to convince Claudio Castagnoli to join him. Obviously, he's got loads of charisma, so that obviously works really well. But Claudio doesn't seem interested. Oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah, they want to be a sports entertainer, which he did for several years,
Did you get it?
Did he? I think it's lost a lot of steam, this angle, since WWE improved a lot and the regime changed. So maybe it might be time to knock the sports entertainer stuff on the head.
Claudio's just going, yeah, sure. Yeah, you're doing really well.
I got paid millions while doing so for several years.
Wait. Team up with Sheamus again. Survivor Series. Ah, great. Yeah. Dara. Nyla Rose beats Kayla Sparks and wins using Jaded and just Jade's pose and everything else like that. The baddies hit the ring, but Nyla takes them out. Jade boots Nyla at the outside and security hold them apart as Nyla continues to run away with Jade's title.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I've seen a lot of people online going, this is rubbish. This is so bad. I'm liking it. It's a lot more interesting than Jay beats up someone. All right, cool. They're doing something different with it, and it is silly stuff. And Nyla's getting to be good Nyla. Twitter Nyla.
Yeah, so. Twitter Nyla is good. It was just when the angle died for me. It's not even dead. When it got hampered a bit was when Jay was like, I'm going to take the entire hour hostage.
That's right, yes.
And she turned up for 5 minutes, then left of her own accord quite politely. But apart from that, it has been better than what Jade was doing before. And it's a storyline. Let's have it. Bring it on. They're few and far between in AEW these days.
Yeah.
As we've said, I think it's a fair criticism. Do you not? Do you think it is, Dan? Do you watch AEW? Dan doesn't watch AEW.
He's too busy Googling Taylor Swift.
Thank God it's Taylor Swift.
Moving on. Orange Cassidy beats Lee Johnson, to retain the All-Atlantic title. I think Orange Cassidy and John Moxley have just been defending their titles just until the Elite get here, I guess.
Yeah.
Or CM Punk, whichever's going to happen first. But I think he's done a good job. But it was just a match. It was all right. Nothing I'd remember in a week. But I did like the post-match silliness. And also a little thing, QT Marshall getting the loudest reactions of anybody all night. Because just what a poo-housey person he is.
He's a criminal, as far as I'm concerned. He tried to murder. Who was it he tried to murder on the steps? Danhausen, the pile driver on the steps. Sent her to jail for that sort of behaviour. But
you could hear the bump he took. He went, ah!
But it was shocking. A shocking start of the segment because we learned that Shotty Lee is no longer in the Nightmare Factory. He's gone back home to the factory. The Nightmare family. He's back in the factory. So the Nightmare family is no more. No Arn, no Dustin. My God, Shotty Lee
didn't even know. So thank you for point. Guys, it's like last week when the Firm came out. The Firm? No.
To be fair,
Jeff Jarrett's crew. Whatever.
I got confused by Tall Men as well. I was like, Colin Cassidy was there, but whatever his name. W. Morrissey was there, but it wasn't. It was Satnam, wasn't it? Apparently. It was nice wrestling action. I thought the factory to a man did their jobs very well, just being, proper poo house heels, just, classic old-timey stuff. The nice spear spot with Nick in the gorilla press position and then Trent getting him after a jaunt down the ramp was fantastic. I wish they just shot from a different angle, if we're going to nitpick, just to see Trent run all the way down. We like that, don't we? Charles Robinson, stuff like that. Yes. Orange Cassidy's 75th win in AEW. That's a lot of wins. But
juice.
I thought it was just a nice match. Everyone did their roles well. But QT should be in jail for that.
He should, if he was not so over. I was going to say, it was also weird, though, as well. AEW Rampage. Oh, yeah, it's the secondary show. You never think it was like that meaning least important. But yeah, the venues have decreased in size. And yes, they are very poorly lit compared to what they were. This could have been AEW Dark, which is just bizarre. But like I said, hopefully, with stuff we'll get into later on, this thing will be changing and they'll get the numbers back up.
It does feel
especially
like
to do London.
Yeah.
And you what, mate? Manchester?
Manchester. If Jack Atkins was saying, because he went there and saw a gig, I can't remember who it was, but it was 20,000. And like when you're in there and you see it all opened up, it's absolutely massive.
Is it the O2? It's not called the O2 anymore.
I think it's the O2, isn't it? In Manchester.
I swear it changed hands.
Well,
I can't keep up with these bloody names.
But it feels like Rampage, like since they changed it from what it was originally, like an accoutrement to Dynamite, and they've started doing like separate like storylines-ish for shows. Like by and large, we've been seeing Nyla Rose and Jade on Rampage. I know they did stuff on this week's Dynamite, but before then, it just felt like a Rampage exclusive. So since they've started doing that sort of stuff, I think it's it's been a bit not hard to keep up, but you know what I mean? It's sort of like a bit jaunt.
Non-essential.
Yeah. I liked it when you get to a main event segment of the night. Oh, me and you have a fight because we got involved in Dynamite's main event. Let's go and do it there. I think if we went back to that, it would help it along quite a bit.
Well said, pal.
Yes. Wrestling analysis.
Yeah. So we're making up for the fact we got the Firm messed up last week. And I was like, yes, this is it. This is goals on Sunday. We're grabs. Monday Night Raw. Wrestling helps us escape the harsh realities of life. Anyway, here's the build to War Games. Oh, God. Yeah, hi. If you're seeing this. Seth Rollins arrives and talks about his open challenge. Revealing that this week, he'll be facing Finn Balor. Bobby Lashley interrupts. Hey, that's not Finn Balor. And wants his title back. But he's interrupted by Mustafa Ali again. Ali charges the ring twice and gets thrown back out by Lashley. Until finally they have a match which Seth slips away. Lashley wins with the hurt lock, and he absolutely batters that lad.
He does. First and foremost, Bobby Lashley's tit, his left tit, whatever that scar was down there, it looked absolutely gnarly, and he should just keep it, just make a prosthetic version and stick it on every time. Looked like his entire muscle was trying to burst out of his skin. What's gone on there? Do you know?
Like the rest of his body. I love the earthworms. Those crazy muscles there.
The chants from the crowd that Theory's cash-in was stupid was harsh but fair there.
Corey Graves snapping his pencil at ringside.
I'm not sure Ali Mustafa is getting over as the babyface when it's cooler to watch Bobby Lashley just throw him around like with no effort than it is to watch Ali going like, oh no, and try and like build sympathy. I don't think it's quite working.
To be a bad guy, Ali.
Ali?
Yeah.
No, I think he's a heel.
Keeps on
a
showing up.
babyface.
Hey, no one asked me, but here's my.
I think Bobby's the heel, isn't he? Ever since Saudi Arabia.
No, Bobby's a justified. Bobby was this close.
Yeah, but I think it just.
I was just mad.
It's hard to get like sympathy when Bobby is so effortless and throwing you around and just going, "Wow, that's really impressive." That. But I thought there was a lovely sell on the spear before the hurt lock. He did the old spinneroo, like I think Buddy Murphy used to do it, didn't he, back in the day?
He did.
I'm not saying he's the originator, by the way. Just that's who came to mind when I saw that. So it was an all right opening segment, I thought.
Yeah, I think that the managing Mustafa Ali's little, hey, it's me, I'm a guy, hey. And then Bobby Lashley, I'm just going to kill everybody. I don't care if you cheer or boo for me. It's like, oh, that's good.
At least Ali's doing something.
And Rollins is getting cheered.
Yeah, he's proper babyface now.
He's a proper babyface.
10 years
Damn it,
Rollins,
the one
no?
time you're not bloody here, Jack. Anyway, the OC and Mia Yim are interviewed backstage, and AJ hypes a singles match between himself and Balor at Survivor Series. That's weird. Survivor Series, the pay-per-view dedicated to team-on-team matches.
Yes.
Here's Styles with his team versus the other team, and we're not, well, whatever. Anyway, Maya then wrestles Tamina. I'm sorry, man. And
I know.
wins before Rhea Ripley thinks about running into attack, but just walks away instead.
We
Mind Games, which is Survivor Series 98 tagline.
We learned in this segment what Michin or Michin, I don't know how to pronounce it, means like crazy in Korean. And I guess that's a nickname for her rather than like a name change. That's the impression I got. Because some of the like, commentators were kept going Mia Yim, I think, on occasion, and sometimes Michin or Michin. So yeah, they trademarked that recently. So I reckon you could just do something proper mental at War Games and then just call herself that. I think it's quite a punchy name, quite a cool name.
I hope she's like really boring and just does chin locks and stuff. Whoa, she's crazy. We're in the cage, chin lock.
Luke Gallows has just been very carny about why he loves her. Oh, what a chin lock. Chin lock. I don't know.
I love the complete non-reaction. Because like, everyone cheers when they show up, the Good Brothers, and then they start talking. There's no bother for anything they say. Well, you know what? I have a
it's always decisions.
chick magnet.
Yeah.
Mate. All right. And then later on, they like thing of booze. And like, hey, I said I'd bring the booze. And they're like, that's right. They did say that on their podcast. They bring the booze. And like,
they did. It was a large bucket of beer, to be fair. And the jeers as well. Booze. Bring the booze. Boo.
Oh, that's
didn't
good.
work, did it? Didn't work. Well, in that match, let's pretend I didn't say that. In the match itself, though, it felt like the crowd more arsed with Rhea and Dom at ringside than what was happening in the ring.
That Dom's a heat magnet.
Hey, he is, isn't he?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It might be the most improved of the year.
I don't even know if he's done anything. It's just the gimmick he's got.
He's still going, hey, it's me.
He's kicked his dad in the bollocks and just stood next to Rhea Ripley, and everyone hates him.
Whatever, Dom, you can't wrestle very well. You're rubbish, whatever. Look at my hot girlfriend. Oh, what? No.
To be fair, though, saying that, this was the first week where he was doing he was trying to do more expressive stuff because he was doing like the chicken poo heel stuff when he was hiding behind Damian Priest in that little promo that we'll get onto later.
Yes.
So he's very much going down the chicken poo route. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, that was well said. Later backstage, Damage Guitar try to recruit Mia, but she isn't keen. They try to intimidate her instead, but the OC arrive to celebrate, so the bad lasses leave. Bad lasses is a good pun. Anyway, Matt Riddle and Chad Gable get into an argument backstage. Is it worth talking about what they did backstage?
It was really painful to watch.
It was, wasn't it?
Shush and boo. Shush and boo. Shush and bro. They went back and forth doing.
That would have been good, actually.
It works for Gable. But when Riddle's trying to do it back, it's like you're meant to be likable and you're just coming across really annoying.
It's really weird how Riddle's lost a lot of steam because he's tried to be like nice and positive and charismatic, and he's none of these things.
Hit my bong, man. I say he's charismatic. He's just he's back to that lockdown Riddle. Bloody hell. Lockdown Riddle that we didn't like.
We spent a lot of time in Little during lockdown, in fairness. Yeah. And I was just waiting for shush, bongos, and then Otis to come around. I've heard Stephen King's latest book.
And Riddle's like, yes, of course, gets a monocle out.
Yes. Hey, Stephen King. And he's like, shut up.
My first doobie was called Stephen
trying to
today.
think some sort of Stephen King weed thing and nothing came
Yeah.
on.
I thought the match was excellent,
I was
though.
going to say, wow, yeah, believe it or not, here's some more hard-hitting analysis. Riddle and Gable, good match.
Yeah.
And
did like
even
it.
more surprisingly, though, just like I said, you would have thought Riddle was one of these protected dudes and stuff like that, but there wasn't much news about Orton's status, about his injury, apart from the fact that he's at the rehab center right now, but there's still nothing about any.
His wife
update.
posted a picture
Yeah,
this week on he had he had a thing on his nose, didn't he? Like a bandage. Like he's had some sort of nose surgery. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but he's had something done this week. But I like the finish though with Otis getting involved because after his big win last week, looks like he's getting like the rocket strapped, brothers.
About time.
Push, please.
Oh, take a boost, son.
I'm off. That's as good as it's getting.
Baron Corbin and JBL. Oh, here we go. from the Sublime to whatever this is. Corbin and JBL are playing poker backstage, as people point out online. Smoking stuff. Not like that, Riddle. Smoking stuff. Near ashtray in sight. Disgusting.
Vaping. JBL's a massive vapor.
He'd be called worse. Tozawa joins them and claims he's never played before. Doesn't know how to play poker, but says you got money. He goes, yeah, well, your money's good here.
Yeah.
And they're like, here is some of the finest Kentucky bourbon. And the crowd went, yeah, alcohol. And but she was, get away from that. Get that Kentucky stuff away from me or I'll start marrying my sister. I went, here's some what was it?
I don't know. It was some other form of whiskey, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's like I thought I had to blink and check and go back and go, wait, that's not just the exact same whiskey they had in the shot, is he?
It might have been.
Is it? Whatever.
I reckon some whiskies look the same. I don't know. There's some analysis for you. Some whiskies look the same.
But then Tozawa shows up and you're like, oh yeah, are you all right? They would come back and the wacky twist is that Tozawa is winning big. Corbin tries to cheat and Tozawa catches him before trying to get him to a match later tonight. A lot of silly bollocks in this show.
I tell you what, though, that was a roller coaster. Because obviously, when you see the setup of the segment, you think it's going one way. They're going to recruit him and just make him a mockery, more so than he has been for the last couple of years. Yeah. But then he's cleaned them out. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to pour wine my watch, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say. But then we get to the match where Tozawa takes on Corbin. And I thought it was so strange when Corbin is apparently back, getting this big push. They're making him more serious, but not really. He's just happy Corbin without the what? What's he missing? He was missing something. The mustache.
Everything.
The mustache.
Tozawa,
after being missing off TV for so long, it feels like we haven't seen him for years. I know it's not years, but a long time. They gave him so much offense in this match against Corbin, who's coming back as this serious wrestler with JBL as the mouthpiece. But then turning the tide by throwing a diving Tozawa towards the barricade was a gnarly spot. I liked it. And then the setup to the end of days was nice as well.
Yeah.
It was just a shock to see Tozawa, who's been lost, getting so much offense in against a guy who's getting allegedly pushed.
Yeah, we've seen that the last few weeks, but it's been against guys like Gargano. It kind of makes
name
sense.
value, yeah.
Tozawa, who also tweeted a picture of his gear and was just like, "Thank you."
Maybe he's been recruited and he's just going to come out dressed like Happy Corbin next week.
Oh no!
I would be impressed if I was JBL taking the what they call him, the new wrestling god, to such a long match. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I think. I mean, there wasn't anything followed up on this. People like, so is he leaving? Is he retiring?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and nothing as of now.
Because I saw that.
Now look, he'll be announced he's gone.
Yeah, I saw that picture before watching Raw, so I was like, oh, something bad's going to happen here. But he lost a match after becoming rich. Or maybe he's getting a rich man's gimmick after cleaning them both out. I don't know.
So they'll have to recruit.
Wrestling's stupid, isn't it?
Wrestling is really stupid. This week it was. If only there was an NXT wrestler who was really good at poker.
He's busy at the minute.
He is busy, yeah. So they're just winning by default, honestly. Miz makes Byron Saxton the temporary host of Miz TV because this week the Miz is in the guest role wearing a lovely sweater. As pointed out by the commentators, wow, he looks like Mr. Rogers.
The show just is a lovely, wholesome, neighborhood-loving man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. He loves the neighborhood, and man, does neighborhood love him. Miz admits that he initially faked the Loomis attacks to generate sympathy for himself, but only did so because he's been so loyal and consistent in the ring over the years. Johnny Gargano interrupts, and of course the commentators go, oh, not him, and accuses Miz of trying to trick people into caring about him. He reveals that Miz will face Loomis next week, and Loomis will get a WWE contract if he wins. And Cameron unmasks, and it's actually Loomis. Miz runs away. The Loomis stuff, I'm not disliking. I think they're doing a lot of good stuff there. Miz in these segments, I think it works if there's a lot of other proper wrestling stuff, but this week was a lot of other silly stuff, and I'm like, okay, is this Scooby-Doo I'm watching?
I thought the Miz came across as the babyface for a long portion of that segment. The way he was just like, I've never missed a day. I've never asked for a day off. I gave Dexter a job when he didn't have one. I'm just doing this to make money for my family. I care about my family. I thought he was coming across like a babyface before he was robbed by Dexter.
It's a bit like Soraya Knight, Britt Baker, where they're both saying, I'm the best. I was here at the beginning of the... One, he's going to be the bad guy here, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't help that he's going up against Gargano as well, who I know it'll be appealing to, well, I imagine a lot of people, but for us old curmudgeons, he's just annoying, isn't he? So if Loomis wins in a couple of weeks' time, he gets all the money Miz owes him and a WWE contract. But the nice thing was, even though he wasn't signed, the Music Man still played his music after the segment. To be fair,
how about that?
Because I think who was it? Tom, I was on the news with you the other day, and we made a point of that, and someone was like, "Imagine if Loomis came up to you and said, play my music, otherwise I'll steal you and kill you."
Yep.
I would do it as well. So fair enough. It is a weird segment though. I don't know how this ends because, imagine Miz paying up is the way it ends. Yeah, but where does Gargano factor into that?
Is he putting his squad back together?
Oh yeah,
him, Loomis.
Indy's got serious on NXT.
Not necessary theory because he's deed. But yeah, I thought that's the only way they'd be doing it. It should be really funny. Like, Gargano goes up there after, Loomis beats Miz, and then Gargano's like, isn't this great? And Loomis goes, chokes on. It's like, that was a waste of time. The Judgment Day interrupts Shelton Benjamin's backstage interview and call him a loser. They set up a match with Dom, who wins after interference from Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. I like it. Dom's useless. They know he's useless, so they'll all need to help him getting victories over guys like Shelton. Perfect.
Yeah, I thought the little promo from Dom saying he was better than his deadbeat dad and Eddie Guerrero as well. I thought that was nice. It's basic, but it's working, and I like that. I thought Shelton's promo was good as well. You see the passion. It was a really sudden finish. It was a bit of a predictable one. But again, Dominic being trying to be more charismatic in these segments now, like with his little antics behind Damian Priest and whatnot. So we'll have to see where that goes. But yeah, it was all right. I think it's nice to see Shelton on TV. He can still do it all, can't he?
It's great because whenever he makes an appearance on Raw, Twitter's just filled with, remember when Shelton Benjamin was like the best? And you're like, yeah. Oh, well. Austin Theory is interviewed and says that the Money in the Bank briefcase was an anchor weighing him down. He's never felt more free.
This was the first promo, by the way, where I really enjoyed watching Theory because so far it's been like I feel like an arsehole saying that because it's what the old time wrestlers say, but it felt like young lad playing wrestler. But now,
as Owen said,
it felt like now he's when he's on about the pressure and like living up to stuff. It's like he meant what he was saying for the first time. If that makes any sense, might just be me and my weird mind.
No, I can see what you're saying because many people said, when they were talking about Corey Graves and other people talking about McMahon said, which then got translated as saying he's the way, he's the next man. This is going to be the future. And you look at him going, yeah, he feels like a guy pretending to be a wrestler.
He was booked horribly as well back then, though.
Yeah,
because McMahon would emasculate him at every single segment. And we're going, this is the guy, is it?
Yeah.
Everyone loves getting told what not to do by grandma and granddad, don't they?
I think he said win a match. I don't know. Yeah. Theory explains why he cashed in on Seth rather than Roman before complaining about Lashley's interference. Ziggler arrives and tells him, "You want to hear moaning?" and shows him the best of Dolph Ziggler DVD.
It should have been me.
Yeah. And tells him to stop making excuses, which ups up a match later on. Again, at least that makes sense. Pretty happy with that.
I was glad he said that about his cash in because he's just like, well, what's the point in cashing on Roman? He's surrounded by everybody. I would never win. I was like, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Just
maybe don't do it immediately after an open challenge that you could have answered. That would be my main sticking point. Because again, if you're going to go up against Gunter, I guess I don't know. Yeah, Rollins is probably more beatable than Gunter today. Is that an outlandish statement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Seth Rollins is an outlandish statement, but what you just said was not. So.
But then again, he rocked up at NXT. Sorry, that he could have cashed in there on Braun. Could be Braun, no problem.
I learned the idea of him sat back. Oh God, okay. Reigns out of the picture. Yeah. All right. Rollins, okay, that could work. Gunther, no. Yeah, all right.
Braun, nah.
So I was like, Rollins.
That'll have to do. Yeah. Rollins or Dana Brooke.
Yeah,
one of the two. Rest in peace, the 24/7 title.
Yeah,
it's officially being kiboshed.
It's next to the bin, someplace backstage. Io Sky beat Dana Brooke in a singles match. Afterwards, Mia Yim comes out and reveals that she's joined Bianca Belair's team for War Games. Damage Control are not happy, but Rhea Ripley offers to join their team backstage. Damage Control are happy.
Yeah, I like the reasoning for Rhea, because she's like, if Bianca's on one side, I need to be on the other. So it looks like that's going to be the thing that carries the match, is their feud towards a singles match, I assume, at like the Rumble or something. So that'd be a nice thing to carry it through.
Good.
Yeah, very good. I was asking myself in the Io Sky versus Dana Brooke match, why is this not Dana versus Nikki? 'Cause that's the real feud, isn't it? After she put the title in the bin and kiboshed all of Dana's hard work. Corey was really funny on commentary when he was saying,
he was.
Nobody, he said nobody disrespected the effort Dana Brooke puts in. Apart from him, he did. He did lots of times, didn't he?
It's that picture of the hot dog dude go, we're all trying to find the guy who said that thing, Dana.
Yeah, it was a weird match as well, because like it didn't feel like Io got out of second gear, but then Dana's cutting that promo before where she's like, I'm gonna fight for everything, and then she just gets beat quite easily. It was like a weird one, but at least Rhea and Bianca's going to be involved in that match, and it looks like that's where we're going.
Well said. Theory gets DQ'd. Sorry, does he? Yes, he does. Gets himself DQ'd because he won't stop beating up Ziggler on the outside. Well, you have to DQ half the roster then if that's a crime. He throws Ziggler into the timekeeper's area and drops chairs onto him until officials hold him back. Yeah, you know what? I'd be a bit salty as well after I sounded like a wrestler for the first time in a long time when Ziggler showed up and went,
I'm glad they went down the serious route rather than like going down like the Liv Morgan crazy and deranged sort of way.
Yeah.
Because you can see that happen after losing such a big thing like the briefcase and going, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Ken Anderson did. Ooh.
But I was a nice shift as well because he was surviving sleepers. It was the sleeper spot which he survived, and the Faye Massa kick out. Yep. That was good stuff. Then he did one hell of a Kurt Angle kick out of the zigzag. That was very good. I like the more serious presentation of Theory. I can see why Vince might now say that back in the day.
It'll be interesting to see now that we've got that albatross off his neck. Again, it doesn't help the dude when he's like, okay, so the management's literally changed. I'm no longer,
the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I was trying to compare it to Ronaldo, but it didn't fit at all. Really, really forced.
It would have done a few years ago.
Yeah,
but to be
exactly.
Fair, that is pretty much what Ronaldo, because he was signed by Solskjaer and the Glazers, obviously, and Solskjaer is now gone, and a new manager's come in, like Triple H. Yep. He's called Eric Ten Hag, and Eric Ten Hag is not just putting up for him, doing what he wants. He's like, this is my team now. You do what I say. And Ronaldo doesn't like that, so he's throwing a hissy fit. Yep. It's very much the same.
Apart from the walkout.
We should call him the now Cristiano Ronaldo, like he is the now Austin Theory. I think that's what they're trying to get over on commentary.
That's right.
His new nickname, the now.
Ronaldo, H-Town down. Got a lot of good analysis there, pal. Have you considered doing anything about football?
No. Oh, well, funny you should mention that. Subliminal marketing on the thing there. What? Hold and Give on YouTube.
How long's that been there for?
It's been there the entire time. We're going to try and do a little bit of football content on the in my spare time.
Lovely. I didn't know you had any.
Nothing's changing wrestling-wise, but we'll try and do a bit and see what happens. If it takes off, it takes off. If it doesn't, oh well.
God, I can't wait to see the world in motion.
Yes. I like that, Maffew. It's from the 90s again.
Early. Seth Rollins beats Finn Balor in the main event to retain the US title, but afterwards, Austin Theory, what are you doing here? Attacks from behind and beats Seth down. Can't think why he'd be a bit mad.
I don't know. Great podcasting. Finn Balor.
That was better than any analysis, yeah. I don't know. Idiot.
Finn Balor, slow and methodical. Rollins not doing that. Finn, almost stealing things. Rollins not doing that. What is that in reference to? Sometimes I confuse myself with my notes. What's he stole? I've got no idea.
Everyone's heart.
Probably. And eyes. I don't know. Teasing the buckle bomb spot. I thought was a nice little touch. Call back to SummerSlam, but Balor reverse it, obviously. Yeah. Triple H loves a big brawl to close the show. That's what we're learning week on week. I guess it's a trope of the Attitude Era when wrestling was at its best.
That's right.
And most popularist. So I guess it's going to be a thing now. I don't mind it, though. I like a chaotic brawl.
Partying like it's 1999.
Doot. Oh, imagine Michael PSA singing that.
Doot. God. But yeah, this saved an otherwise weird comedy-filled episode of Raw, which made me feel like, hang on. Reports have been saying Vince McMahon has been just relaxing and doing what normal 76-year-old billionaires do, which is keeping out of people's hairs, but this felt like something he would have put together. But at the same time, we are aware that Kevin Owens and other people are off injured, so it's like, okay, can we just get to War Games and then just destroy everybody, I guess? Then they'll be really injured.
I didn't realize how much comedy there was in the show until you pointed that out, but there was a lot this week, wasn't there?
Yeah, and there's a big, serious main event to keep saying, oh, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Bang, bang. Thank you, Finn. NXT, it's a new dawn.
I need to do my move of the week right now, Dan.
Oh my! Oh baby!
Sponsored by youtube.com/hold and give. sorry, YouTube. I've got the URL wrong there. There's an at hold and give on the URL. It's just called hold and give though. Because Booker T's move from going sort of disinterested and not understanding what was going on into off his lips. What is he doing? Booker T was my highlight of the week. He was on one this week. It was sensational. Even in the ring with the contract signing, the stuff he was saying on commentary, unbelievable. What was he saying about JD McDonough? He kept calling him JD McDonough, didn't he? Well, I've got the quote in. Oh, McDonough was a stunner.
Yeah, trying to make that work.
He kept making noises as well, like just little like purrs from time to time, like a cat being stroked. Lovely. It was wonderful.
I think it's great. I think Vic Joseph is in an awkward position because he's been used to doing it with Wade. They had great chemistry, and Vic Joseph knew what Wade Barrett was like a wild tiger. You know, at any moment he could lash out and be horny at any moment. And I think just from Booker T's podcast and how he is, he's got like different mindsets of how he acts around different people.
Yeah.
If he was next to another wrestler, he'd be like that, crazy guy that you see the pre-shows and, the good old TNA clips and stuff like that. But he's next to Vic Joseph and you think, all right, okay, I'll be like proper broadcaster here. And it's this weird mix where he's sandbagging more than Thunder Rosa. There was an amazing bit. Oh, sorry, allegedly. From the t-shirts you wore, right? Vic Joseph, Booker, can you tell me about the relationship between Veer and Sanga? Booker T. How would I know? All right. And like, Mandy Rose came out later on the main event, and obviously he's just like, whoa, hey, Booker, I know you're really excited to talk about the positives of this lovely lady. Booker's like, yeah, she's a fantastic wrestler. I'm not changing for you. Oh, love it.
It must be really bad for Vic, though, because it is Booker T. It must be really daunting just to sit there and try and go, like, let's have a laugh, Booker. Come on, let's have a laugh.
Booker's like, no.
Nah. But he was this week, by and large. You have to go. I know a lot of people don't watch NXT, and they'll probably skip this part of the podcast.
No, I think people listen to us talking about NXT because you make it sound like WrestleMania X7 every bloody week.
It is fantastic. This week was a bit of a lull, we'll say.
I actually like this one. I love it. Love it. You love the crap episodes. I like the good episodes.
But Booker was amazing this week, and that's why the shift from disinterested, apart from the two examples Maffew gave, into just like being just off his lips was amazing.
And why would he not be off his lips? Braun Breaker versus beg your pardon, Ross, I'll get it right for you. Come Tuesday, opens the show. Towards the end of the match, Robert Stone tries to give Cum advice on the apron, but gets shoved away. Backstage, JD McDonough congratulates Braun and tells him it's not over between us. Later, Apollo Crews talks to Braun in the locker room and implies that he's going for the title as well. Wow.
Braun is buggered, man. We'll get into that a bit later on.
Busy Braun Breaker.
Someone can look into the future and has seen the future and has told that to Braun, and Braun, it's over. Might as well just give up now. Just hand him the title. Hand Apollo Crews the title. But that opening match there, Cum was the cerebral assassin. He did the Harley Race high knee. His use of Robert Stone as a distraction / weaponry device at the start of the match was inspired. The Frankensteiner from they called it a Frankensteiner on commentary, but it was just in the ring. It wasn't off the top. But it was like Cum was running, and he just did Frankensteiner in the middle. It was really, really good.
They're still a Frankensteiner, yeah.
Is it still a Frankensteiner?
Yep. Because Scott Steiner, because again, you have to remember, Scott Steiner is a freak and would just do it running. That's what's wrong with a guy running.
I've had a Mandela effect right there. But yeah, Cum's reversal out of the spear into his finish was very smooth. The stuff with the referee, the way he just like went towards the referee and was just like, man. Made him like a bit of a tit after a good match, I thought. But, you can't have everything, can you? No. It's a shame he didn't win. But I guess now that he's sort of thrown Robert Stone off the apron, they think Come Tuesday is ready to cut lots of promos. And I'm excited for the future of NXT now.
See, look at you. Seeing the forest for the trees.
They saw Cum in that blazer last week, and they thought, wow, that man can talk. So I'm excited for the future now because Robert Stone, it looks like they've split up, which is it's very, very exciting. Thoughts on that match?
I tell you, Robert Stone, like all the men in your life, love you when you're winning. leaving you when you're down. But yeah, I thought Cum looked more credible than he looked in any match his entire career here. Braun, God, he's a super worker. And
quick, isn't he? He's quick, isn't he? Yeah. That's some analysis for you. Braun Breaker's really fast. The way he ran across that ring, it was like Madcap Moss, but a bit faster.
Yeah. And it's just the pop of the spear.
Yeah.
It's like, it's him a very move, but the spear. And it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
No, I was amazed how good this was.
Yeah.
But then after it was like, why shouldn't that be? Braun's great.
Mm.
And then the two people going, I want your title as well. I was like, wow, he's really busy.
Yeah.
Lots of forward momentum going in NXT. You know what you're getting. You know what you're going to build up to. Great.
God, the momentum's going to stop, though. Do you see what time the Stand & Deliver show is on WrestleMania?
9:45 a.m.
9:45 a.m.? Who's going to be going, wow, at 9:40? Well, I know football fans are going away days, but that's a bit different.
No one's going to be stood up or delivering at that time. Tired and complaining.
That is mental.
NXT.
They must be going to do it in a very small place, I assume.
God, I remember the show they did this year.
Yeah, but that was early as well. That was a matinee show as well.
Yeah, and
9:45 is not a matinee show, is it? That's just breakfast.
Yes. People were in the little pajama. Everyone's going to be cosplaying as Wendy Chu. God. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, does this also mean that Cum is he's either leaving Robert Stone or last time we've had big matches here where Braun's beaten them, like Gunther and LA Knight, they've left. They've gone to the main roster.
Guess who's been having dark matches before Raw? Guess who was on Raw a couple of weeks ago, splitting people up in a big brawl? It was Bobby. It was the go home for Saudi Arabia, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was like, "What are you doing here?"
Cum was there. Maybe he could be the fifth man. War games.
Oh my God! Cum in the cage.
They could reignite the sort of Kyle O'Reilly storyline with someone from the brawl, him and Pete Dunne going in the woods. Yeah, writes itself. I don't know. But yeah, maybe you're onto something there with him going to the main roster.
Oh no.
Wouldn't mind it. Him cutting promos on the main roster is where it's at. Now that they've got, allegedly got a bit more freedom, that's where it's at.
The fourth Viking Raider. Because he could be one.
He could, to be fair, yeah. He has got that look of him, which you focus on a lot. His big forehead.
The world's biggest helmet. Wearing the world's biggest
That's a
helmet.
second generation superstar you're talking about there. Put some respect on his name. One of the Beverly Brothers' son.
Exactly.
Was it Bo? Yeah, it was Bo, wasn't it?
Zoe Stark's got a heel promo explaining why she betrayed Nikita Lyons. She talks about coming back from injury and earning a title shot, only to get injured again because she was made to team up with Nikita. She didn't get famous by posing on the beach or dancing on social media. She busted her ass in the ring, which also is how Nikita got popular. She is the hunter, and everyone else in the back is her prey. It was all right, but I don't care about them feuding because they've only been together for 3 weeks?
That's the NXT way with female tag teams splitting up.
Yeah.
What was it? Tom's had yogurts in his fridge longer than certain tag teams.
What did Graham Souness say that about a player? He says, "What do you think about so-and-so?" I forget which one.
Probably Paul Pogba if it's going to be negative.
Yeah, he went, "I've got a yogurt in my fridge that expires in the day, and that's more of a priority than thinking about him."
I thought that
They dig a flag in the midst.
I thought that Zoe was. This is going to maybe be a ridiculous comment, but I think she's got too nice of a voice to be a heel. I was just like, do you ever get? She sounds like a teacher. I like.
You know what? That's a good point.
You know, when the nice teacher at school gets a bit, it's having a bad day, and they just sort of go, right, that's it now. I've had enough of this.
Just switch the lights on and off.
Yeah, it's time for you to go and step outside, young sir. I was getting that sort of energy from her. I did like the reasoning was kind of, it was all right, carrying Nikita Lyons and all pretty basic stuff. I love the bit where she's just sort of being softly spoken. I'm undeniable! Softly spoken.
So, simply irresistible. Yeah. You know what? You really nailed it. Yeah, she's the good teacher. You're like, she's fine. When she gets mine, like, taking you seriously.
She's going to have to say some pretty horrible things to get over as a heel, I reckon, with that voice.
I'm all right with the World Cup being in Qatar. Boo. Right. Andre Chase calls Duke Hudson into his office. He's like, "Do you want to save me, sir? I want to know why he threw in the towel last week." Duke says he did it because he cares too much about Andre and about Andre Chase University. If Mr. Chase is on the shelf, the whole university is on the shelf. If you want to say Hudson bleeds black and red, he's guilty as charged. And then Scrappy Doo comes in and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm finished. I don't want to take up any more of your time." And then he leaves and they're like, you know, he's really growing on me. And he does this thing, goes, and strokes his beard.
He knocked it out the park there. Dull is no longer dull. Dull is delightful. Dull is Bodie Hayward.
Delightful.
Delightful. He is delightful.
I love your wordplay.
He's playing. I wasn't even mine. That was yours. You can own that one. He knocked it out the park. There's the way he's clearly trying to take over Chase U, but he's doing a wonderful job of disguising that fact. And the fact he left when Thea Hale came in, only natural. That's what everyone would do.
When you go undercover, you got to remember who you are, Ross.
He couldn't put the poker face on for Thea Hale. The hatred is just that strong. But when he was like, he bleeds black and red, good, I'm guilty as charged. I got hairs in the back of my neck stand up when he said that. That was amazing.
We all stood up on our desks and in the shit. Absolutely destroy a jobber tag team while Booker T goes wild on commentary.
Oh, he was good in this match.
Yes, he was.
It was a shame they made Sanga change his attire, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought when he was wearing the little wrestler pants and the MMA gloves, he looked like the hardest man in the world.
Yeah, it went from like, I don't really want to do this. I think I'm doing, maybe this isn't the best thing to, I was good about everybody. You're right. You know what? Yeah, I've been shown away by, nothing really happening, to be honest with you. So I'm just bad now. But I was absolutely fine with this because they absolutely battered
that
these
spot
lads.
where Veer is doing I don't know what the right word is. They're just a big throw. And the guy,
Yeah.
It looks like the guy's supposed to take like a flip bump, but he doesn't. He just goes meow, pff, like a plane, just go nose first into the floor. That was horrible, but also gnarly. So it was good for them.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big Veer was. Or is it just because the other two were so small? He looks like he's nearly the same height as Sanga.
He was near. The jobber tag team was far away. And after it's good. It's like, we will destroy them. We're going to challenge you all honorably. And then Creeper was like, "We've been honorably. You battered us from behind, you guess."
I did like how well spoken they were though, because like obviously when Veer was on the main roster for the first portion, he was just like, "I'm a lion," but now he's like,
"I'm not from here. I'm the evil big foreigner." But now he's like, "Hello, politely, I'm going to beat you up."
I like that.
Yeah,
the total package.
Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, both of them just be like, "Hello, Namaste. Now I'm going to kick your head in." Great. Love it. Ivan Isle warns the Creeds to focus on winning the tag titles, but the Creeds say they can't just ignore a challenge. So competitive.
It's going to be a good match, that.
And they've killed Martin Kemp, so, you know.
Yeah. Where was he at? Still in the hospital, I imagine.
Yeah. At the pub. In a backstage interview, Wendy Chu calls Cora Jade a salty and petulant child. I always hate when those words are used. And you're like, no one talks like that. Oh, this is a script, is it? So these scripts. She said mean things about Wendy that she hasn't heard since high school. So now Wendy wants to give her 2 black eyes.
Yeah, that was the line there, I wrote down there. I want Cora to look in the mirror after I've given her 2 black eyes.
Well, she won't be able to see very well. If you got
Classic Chew, that.
Yeah.
Classic murderous Chew.
She doesn't have black eyes because she gets lots of sleep. Gets rid of those crow's nests.
Yeah. It was an all right promo. It was like going back to high school and whatnot, the promo packages we could see of a young Wendy Chu in high school, played by the current day Wendy Chu, but not disguised very well. It's got great promise, this storyline has.
Is that Howard Stern did that when he acted as himself and he's like, "Hey, here's me at high school. Yeah, it's just me, whatever. It's my film."
Please do that. Yeah. Shawn Michaels, if you're watching, have Wendy Chu do that while getting bullied at high school.
Yeah. Apollo Crews wins a back and forth match against JD McDonough, perhaps making himself number 1 contender. I was not expecting this. I thought all signs were pointing towards JD McDonough finally besting the big man himself. But apparently, no, Apollo is getting the shot, which I was very nicely surprised with. And
he did that on the apron, by the way. He looked at the crowd and just went, "Apollo!"
My name!
He's done that for Maffew there, surely.
Hey, whose famous theme is this? Too generic. Oh, money! Oh, it's that lad.
So imagine walking in the office in the morning just going, "Ross!" Sitting down, put your headphones on.
We're watching King of the Ring 96. Steve Austin. Oh, here he comes now, Stone Cold.
I thought McDonough, though, was amazing in this match.
I hate it. I hate how good he is in the bloody ring. He's bloody generic and stupid and crap. And, the sexy serial killer who, get this, lads, he's working out backstage. Ooh, what a creep. Wow, how mind-blowing. And he gets to the ring and he's great. I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's nice that they've toned down, as you said last week, I think it was, the hanging upside down and all that sort of stuff. whatever the sound effect that was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I could have broken your leg there, Axiom, but I just gave you a string because I'm a nice guy. That sort of stuff works.
That worked.
But the stuff in this match here, the bump he took over the top rope where he landed his hip on the floor was horrible. The Asai moonsault was lovely.
Yeah.
The reversal out the powerbomb into a roll-up was liquid wrestling. He's
The
been on fire.
backpack thing,
Yeah.
if you call it.
And then Apollo's finish is like, I don't even know what it was. It was just very impactful though.
Yeah, he went up to his ears and just yelled. And tapped out. Yeah, good for Apollo.
Yeah.
So he's done these little promos where they've de-emphasized the fact that he can see the future. And he's just like, I came back to NXT to win titles. I will win big.
He can still see the future in my head. That was a fantastic.
I wouldn't be challenging him otherwise. Got to be in it to win it. Big Body Javi calls out Axiom because he's a real jam-up guy, but the interviewer points out he's injured. So he calls out Ilya Dragunov instead, who's also injured. He calls out Gallus instead. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are they still signed?
Oh, wait, don't... They're suspended. Yeah, don't threaten us for a good time, pal. Javi blames the interviewer for holding back his potential. So this is a nice little tribute, a wink and a nod to Bret Hart's amazing El Dandy promo.
Yeah, the jam-up guy lines where it was like, oh my God, he's doing it. Then he was like, who are you to doubt Axiom?
Oh, you big body. There's a lot of like, who no one references to stuff in AEW and WWE.
I think that's good. It's a little reward for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it a bad thing because we're clearly like, oh, you've just copied that there?
I think
it's a little reward.
I think it's an art of doing it.
Yeah.
If you don't overdo it. Every week he comes out and he's like, there's a rotten promo tribute. I challenge the Yeti. Whatever. It's like, all right, shut up, idiot. But yeah, now and again it is okay. But hey, well, FTR steal everything else from Bret Hart. So Big Body Javi might have the leftovers.
Imagine
kick your leg from out of your leg.
Big Body Javi's recruited into FTR. Love a recruitment storyline on AEW.
The giant stable of FTR, Big Body Javi. Apollo's Eye, the red one. Booker T hosts a contract signing between Kamala Hayes and Wesley. It's a tense segment, but Booker ensures that things don't become physical because he's a jam-up guy. And he's like, I'll beat all of you up.
Save that drama for your mama.
I love that line.
There wasn't much to write home about here. There was just Wesley looking a bit like not sure of himself. Carmelo Hayes being very sure of himself, calling himself the lowercase G to Booker T's big G, which I quite like.
Man, I think we say this every time he's given a microphone, but just the pair of them, Hayes and Lee, just sorry, gotta go, Maffew. Carmelo Hayes, like
he's just ready for the main roster, isn't he?
Yeah. Just leave. You know, Wesley, I don't care about you.
Hello,
Royal Rumble.
If he doesn't win here, which there's a chance he might not, he's just spinning his wheels a bit. Does he need another North American title reign in NXT? I would probably say no.
Nah, I think that this will be the time, like I was saying beforehand, again, the big victory, the guy who's staying, to Wesley, like, oh, he beat me. Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
I'm crying all the way to the bank, mate. Whatever. Yeah, absolutely great. Love seeing his development. And now it's even better. Now Triple H is running things. It's like, wait, he'll go up to the main roster and good stuff will happen to him. Bloody hell.
Yeah, he'll keep the same gimmick. I hope Trick Willie goes with him as well. I like Trick Willie. He adds to the package.
I mean, it'd be funny if he does it straight away. So Trick Willie's like, he didn't just leave me here, did he? Oh, good. Odyssey Jones, Edris Onofe, and Malik Blade are in a kitchen. I remember this segment. Odyssey can't wait to get back on the sesh. But first, he asks Blade why he always wears a sweater vest. Blade says it's in memory of his late father, who was a pastor, and always wore the craziest designs. Then the boys leave to get on the bed. What? Did this happen?
I didn't see this coming. Yeah, this revelation from Malik Blade was a shocker. I just thought he wore the sweater vest because he was meant to be a nerd, whereas Edris was meant to be like a playboy sort of figure, and it was a juxtaposition of the two of them together. But no, he said his dad was a well-dressed pastor, and as he said there, just bought him all the best threads, and that was the thing he bought from him. So that's why he wears it. Very deep. Very deep.
Thank you, Ross.
Do you think that was a deep reason?
It's like, yeah, but what's going to happen? Like, is he... all I think of is like, oh yeah, something pastor. It's like, all right, okay, Reverend Devon. That's it. Straight away. Religious connotations. That's it. I love the crazy gimmicks.
Yeah.
Oh, if Scripts starts doing like, well, as John 3:16 says, it's him. It's him.
Yeah.
That's the giveaway. And we go, aha, if you watch NXT every week like we do.
To be fair,
with notes.
Edris is a Deacon Batista type. It's got legs on it. No, it doesn't have legs. Shut up, Ross. They're a good tag team without the reverend stuff.
Yeah. No, don't talk about the silly gimmicks on NXT. Anyway, the Diad face JB and BJ. Toward the end of the match, Kiana James runs out, attacks Fallon Henley, but gets knocked backwards into BJ's arms. Oi, 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 it says it. This leaves JB alone in the ring where the Dyad pick up the win. I don't care about the Dyad, and especially don't care about their bloody, they're here now, and they're gonna do the thing. Like, this is the theme, is it? And then I have to say, though, I'm annoyed. JB doing that clothesline thing where he bounces them from the outside, off the ropes, and hit them. I'm like, I forgot he did that. Yeah, I was like, okay, that looks brutal.
Who was it that claimed they stole it from them recently? There was someone who wasn't. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, it was what's his name from AEW? Yeah, from the
an older fella, I think it was, wasn't it?
Hey, looks it. Yeah, was it from the war? I can't talk English.
Oh, the workhorseman.
Workhorseman.
Yeah, I like him.
In my head, I couldn't not say Warhorse, men. It's like, no, it's not Warhorse. Then I try to say it again, and Warhorse.
It's a bit different.
Yeah, he does it and goes, yeah!
I thought the JB and BJ kept up with the GYV. I'm not calling them the schism or dyad, whatever. They kept up with them all the way through. The tope where James Drake looked like he murdered Brooks Jensen at the announce table was fantastic. And Kiana James just can't accept a no, can't you? They've told him no, the bar's not for sale. So she can, at least she's not going to have to chase you, though. That's the big worry for me is that she's seen the real estate. That is chase you, and she wants that, and she won't just let it go. But thankfully, if she's going to keep focusing on this bar, chase you safe for now.
She's already got her little mold.
Imagine if it's a plot for Dull and Kiana.
Delightful gets in there.
Yeah, Dull and Kiana are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Now we run chase you into the ground. Yeah, can't wait for it. Well, I can't wait for also Shawn Michaels announcing the new Iron Survivor Challenge match. We'll see 2 of these at Deadline, 1 for the men and 1 for the women. Well, thank you for pointing that bit out. Yes, do you have the rules there?
I do. 5 people involved.
Great.
25-minute match. 2 superstars start. Every 5 minutes, another one enters. The most falls within the 25 minutes is the winner. So you don't want to be the last person in there. I assume there's going to be qualifying matches to be one of the first 2 people in there. Also, well, you win a fall, you get a point. You lose a fall, you face a penalty. And that penalty is like a box. The coal mine from 2011 has been brought back, resurrected.
Oh, God.
And you're put in there for 90 seconds. And yeah, you just can't wrestle, obviously, so that's not what you want to do.
Oh,
so
Von might not be perfect. Sorry.
So yeah, there's the rules there. So it's taken a thing or 2 from matches of the past, and then yeah,
it sounds like King of the Mountain without the ladder, but going with the emphasis on pinfalls and getting victories and submissions.
Yeah,
interesting. It's been a while since I've had a brand new match type.
Yeah,
I was struggling to remember the last one, and I think it can't be the Unforgiven 08.
The Ambrose Asylum came after that. What else is there? There must be other ones. There must be one on Halloween Havoc that was new, like the NXT version. Spin the wheel.
Yeah, with the silly ladders.
Whatever, yeah.
Skeleton stuff from Wilkinson's, yeah, great.
AEW stuff, I guess, if you want to throw that in the discussion. The casino ladder matches and the rumbles and that.
Oh, okay. Well, they can't all be winners. Maybe that's it. Maybe we just can't have any more matches. But you know what? I'll give them this and just see what it looks like.
Oh, we're missing one, Dan. Dan looks deep in thought. I was like, he's going to say it. He's going to say one we've forgotten. He's not.
He's not. He doesn't give a monkeys. He's reading that novel. India Hartwell uses Tatum Pax's own protective face mask against her for the heelish win. What? She actually battered Tatum as well. Backstage, Roxanne Perez suggests she may have gotten too far, but then he says she doesn't care. She really wants to get a place on the Iron Survivor Challenge.
I'm on Team Indy here in this little thing. I wish she's made it clear. Just leave her alone. It's a dog world in NXT. You know, you don't want to have friends because friends just let you down. Yeah, Roxanne's going back every week like, be my friend, be my friend. I'm on Team Indy here. And in that match, I thought it was great that Tatum, even though she's aligned with the Diamond Mine, she's not like a fully fledged member, is she? She's like aligned and she trains with Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
Wearing like saucy stockings to the ring. Just like the
Creed
do
Brothers the gym, right? Yeah.
And I've just wrote, yeah, Indy's a big mean bitch these days, basically. The haymaker was tight that she did. And then the ending, I thought the ending was a bit weird, but I think she was meant to stamp Tatum's face into the match to sort of hammer home the nose injury. But yeah, I thought it was fine. She did the old Will Ospreay big hammer to the back of the neck finish. Oh, right. That's the big hammer, the forearm.
Have you seen me watch porn? All right.
I thought it was all. I like the new Indy. I like it. Yeah. Any thoughts?
You've taken the words out of my mouth, pal. Yeah. Yay, Indy. Is what I put it. We see footage of a hooded figure singing in an empty performance center. It's scripts. It was another lovely poem for NXT.
Somehow he also commandeered an entire camera crew to shoot him in the NXT arena without anyone knowing, which I find fantastic. I like the fact he was like, what was he saying? He's like, I'm coming back. So it sort of hints that it might be someone who was there before. Oh, he's coming next week, isn't he?
Who else writes scripts? Used to be Brian Gewirtz.
Bruce Pritchard. No, he never did that. He put that right on his podcast, didn't he? I have never written a script with that woman. I've tried to coincide the Bill Clinton thing with Bruce Pritchard there, and it's not worked at all. It's not worked at all. It's fine. He tries.
I appreciate the effort, though, because he was in the 90s. Mandy Rose successfully retains her title in the main event after Isla Dawn makes her debut to cost Alba Fire the match. Bloody hell. I thought, again, Mandy Rose having another good match. Wow, really repetitive things to be saying here, but yeah, she is mint.
Yeah, I like
as good as Vic Joseph was trying to put her over commentary as well.
Her defense was like the Italians, stereotypically speaking, in the football. Very, very good.
Not on the battles.
So that was the early part of the match, was Alba Fyre just trying to batter her and Mandy going, no, there's me invisible shield of power. But then Alba does that top rope dive to the floor where she did a flip as well. I thought she was going to die. She landed quite high up on her shoulders after sort of sliding down Mandy's very greasy body. Not naturally greasy. That came out wrong. Yeah. Oiled body.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
People say
saucy.
Where's Wade Barrett when you need him? Yeah, she hit her and she fell down. You go,
you could fry an egg on her. She's that hot. He would probably say if he was still with us. He still is with us. He's just on SmackDown. The throw over the top rope into the sort of barricaded area. Yeah. That wasn't the crowd. That was gnarly. And then the throw that happened after that as well. Isla Dawn is the great Muta, we learned. I guess it's a nice heelish way for Mandy to sort of win and get away with another one. She's the modern day witch, is Isla Dawn. No, I didn't watch NXT UK. I mean, you didn't either. I don't know what that means. The modern day witch is a witch, not just a witch. Do they still just not sink when you push them off a cliff?
I think they're like witches with Tesco club cards and things like that. So they've adapted.
Fair enough. But that was a nice way for her to debut. I don't really know too much about her, so I can't really say anything other than she's the modern day witch.
Say much about her. It's Isla Dawn. It's like, all right, who is she? We'll have to watch next week to get more of the lore.
She looks crazy, though. She was doing that sort of stuff like Victoria back in the day. It was good, yeah. It was good. Good, yeah.
Again, Alba Fire wrestling, like, it sounds weird because I haven't seen her wrestle, like, badly or anything like that, but her doing those crazy dives, I'm like, oh, God, yeah, she's doing them like IC all the time.
Yeah. And the dub CP dub.
Yeah.
Always looks like her hair is very soft, I find. I have to know what she uses. Wrestling analysis.
AEW Dynamite, poster boys.
I thought this first match was the actual 4-way for the title. I got so confused.
I was going to say, Jericho and Sammy Guevara face Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli to open the show. And yes, all four of these men will be involved in the 4-way for the Ring of Honor title at
Full Gear
pay-per-view, which is...
Oh, no, it's Death Before Dishonor, is it? They will be involved at a pay-per-view.
I thought they were wrestling at the Full Gear.
Is it on Full Gear?
I'm sure it is.
This tag team will make a lot of sense if it
our
was.
man behind the camera will be bringing up the card soon for the big question later on. If not, we're a bit buggered.
We'll find out then.
This was a nice, lovely little match where they did every little thing they could, which I thought was surprising because you thought they'd like give a taster, if you will, instead of doing bloody everything. But they had a sequence here that I thought was going to be the finish where Claudio got ready to swing Jericho. He's like, hey, let me swing the masked singer. And he's like, no, don't say that. And then instead he got dropkicked by Sammy. And so then Jericho got slingshotted into the ropes, grabbed them, then did a sunset flip onto Claudio as Sammy took out Danielson on the ringside. And I thought, that was a pretty nice little sequence.
Yeah.
And it was just midway through the match. And they carried on for like 5 or 6 minutes. You're like, okay, God.
The early stages I've written down were just a big old dick swinging contest between everybody but Jericho, because they were all doing these big fancy things, as you said. Then Jericho gets in and just starts doing the Jericho stuff. And I was like, that's good from Chris, that. Good poo-housery.
Yeah.
Yeah, not swinging his dick. I like the narrative on commentary. That was, Ian gave it a tester during a commercial break, because we get to see those on Fight.
Ooh.
Yeah. Where he was like, Jericho's becoming the thing he hates. He's becoming one of the greatest Ring of Honor champions of all time. And then they had him repeated like when it came back on the air, and it still didn't work for me. Because when he said it the first time, Jericho was like just cheating in a very dishonorable way. And then it came back on the air, and he was still cheating in a very dishonorable way, but he's one of the greatest champions of all time. Does that have to be taken into account with Ring of Honor? I assume it does, to fight honorably, to be one of the greats.
I guess it... You know what? That's a good point, actually, because...
I know what they were going for. Yeah. Just thought it was funny how he gave it the trial run, then they said it again straight away when the show came back on the air.
It's because, he's part of the JAS. It's like, no, the Ring of Honor is supposed to be against the JAS, and he's got it. Ooh. He's getting all annoyed. But at the same time, it's like, well, Jericho did attack him. So it's like, it at least made sense. And they were like, yeah, you're doing a good job, kid. And like, yes, you are. You're much better than Jim Ross. So like, you appreciate your help. But watching this, not one iota, not one pixel, not one little itty bitty bit of tension between Jericho and Guevara.
And that made sense, Maffew. Because this was a meaningless tag team match where nothing mattered. So Sammy Guevara falling in line, luring Jericho into full sense of security. I quite like that. But when the title's on the line at the weekend, he's going to do it for the opening portion of the match. But when the hammer drops, he's going to turn on him and just win the title for himself. Yeah. I thought that was a nice bit that Sammy did there. If he meant to do it, just falling in line, like because Chris wants him to.
That's one way. You know what? I think you're loving AEW so much this week. I think you're making up stuff. We'll see if that actually happens.
I'll tell you what, though, the spot with Brian when he just takes all the hits from Sammy and then just goes, Bosh, Sammy's down. Fantastic.
I think Sammy's got a great role of being hated right now because a lot of people genuinely hate him.
Do you see
even when Andrade was, battering him? Yes, I saw a little bit of him. And where was it?
I don't know, some sort of it was either YouTuber boxing or some sort of professional MMA event. I don't know. But he was
they were all on it this weekend.
He was speaking about, like, you want to see me box?
And the guy was like, ask him again. Hey, you people are stupid. I'm going to boo. Mild boo. Hey, I just, give me a reason,
He could do it. Of course he can.
Yeah.
He can do anything. He's Sammy Guevara.
Whatever he does, he'll get booed. So might as well do whatever you want, pal. Via one of Sting and Darby Allin's charming home videos, will it'll be showtime at Full Gear. Backstage in the arena, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal aren't scared. As Jeff Jarrett just talks all over Jay Lethal.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett hates the production crew of AEW. Thank God that Sting found Darby in that random body bag down a highway in the middle of nowhere. Otherwise, the match wouldn't have been on, would it? So thank God he did. He must have one of those Apple, what they call, Dan, those Apple devices you air tag, is it? An air tag. You must have an air tag on Darby's gothy belt.
I don't know why Jeff Jarrett's so mad at the production. Like, didn't AEW take all the best ones from TNA?
Yeah, that's why. 20 years of frustration. Gesundheit.
I'm sorry, I'm sneezing.
That's all right. You get it out of you. Better it out than in. If you want to keep it in, though, say elephant repeatedly. It works. Next up, I'll do the lead bit. Next up, we had Anthony Bowens versus Swerve Strickland. The line in the opening rap there from Jay Leno getting burned.
And then quickly afterwards, to start the match, it's like a heart to go out to Jay Leno, one of my close personal friends who I've known for years, since '98, for the 3rd-degree burns he sustained. So I was always like,
The story is a car exploded in his face and burnt off the left-hand side.
Yeah, 3rd degree, but it's like, okay, maybe like first or like 3rd degree. No, that's a serious one. That's
no, the Acclaimed though. LOL.
Yeah. I mean, Jay Leno is a divisive character because of his actions to do with Conan and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But like 3rd-degree burns, I wouldn't wish on anybody.
A big politic, wasn't he, back in the day? Giving Conan got a slot, didn't he? Then Jay Leno wanted the slot before, but a bit longer. I'm very not.
It was, it would take a long time. But
yeah,
more or less.
Conan was in the right.
Conan got screwed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I thought, to be fair though,
here we go. Yeah,
the music video that the Acclaimed produced, I thought that was AEW. This just reminded me of like back in the day when it was good, like outside the box sort of stuff. The fake Keith and Swerve, the casting there was inspired. The Captain Insano getting involved and him laughing, that was inspired as well.
Have you seen The Waterboy?
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah, it's one of the few films I have seen. Daddy Ass, then getting lost in the moment and attacking Swerve with his actual hands. Oh, do they really hurt? Is it a Swerve? Imagine.
No, shut up, you. Yeah.
It was a really nice match though. With I like the story of Bowens just kicking out everything until like one move was too much for him.
I almost thought like Swerve was just playing with them. Like, I'm way better than you in a singles match. In a tag match, whatever, fine. But in a singles match, you ain't beating me.
That's some throwback wrestling. That the Dudley Boys like fish up a tree back in the day.
Yeah.
Until Bully Ray became good and knew everything that was going on everywhere.
Yeah. What was your favorite line from the little rap? Mine was, open the dirt sheets, telling everyone how esteemed you are. Only a snake would suck up to the media. I thought there were some really good bars in this.
I thought it was funny when they called Keith what was it? A chubby little Cleveland or whatever.
Oh, Cleveland Jr.
Cleveland Jr. That got me going.
And also, the crowd popped louder for the Acclaim, just like, than any of the lads in the opening match.
Yeah. They did.
They are amazingly over.
They are. And long may it continue.
One of the big positives of AEW.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe was interviewed by Tony Schiavone in the ring.
By the way, Tony Schiavone's fully defined mullet now. It's too much for me to handle, let me tell you. That is a what am I saying here? On purpose mullet?
It must be.
A deliberate mullet, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he's seen the old school gap being created by NWA, Power Vacuum, and going, I'm in for that. Samoa Joe says it reminded him of an old colleague called Paul. He hopes their interactions go a lot better.
Heyman? That's a bit harsh on Tony if he reminds him of Paul Heyman. Because Heyman was in charge of, was it SmackDown or Raw when Joe was there or something? Or maybe it was a different Paul from Ring of Honor or Impact.
This didn't hit for me.
Triple H?
Yeah.
Negotiations with Paul, eyeball Paul?
Triple H didn't have a mullet.
No.
I didn't get this bit.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
Hey, references to the other. Yeah, all right, AEW. But then Joe defends his decisions to turn on Wardlow, says his partner failed to recognize the most dangerous man in the room. And in fairness,
that's what he did.
Wardlow was there like, I'm going to take you and all the other titles. And Joe's like,
he brushed past him as well a week before.
I have your... okay. Then Powerhouse Hobbs interrupts and says maybe he should kick Joe's ass. And they're about to fight. But Wardlow's music hits. He comes out from the crowd and attacks Joe. Hobbs gets involved too, and the locker room empties to keep all three apart. Ooh. Wardlow starts taking people out. The Dark Order just go, whatever. Yeah, we care. And hits a huge dive on the crowd on the outside. I'm ready for this. Just three lads going, no, I'm the best. No, I think I'm the best. Oh, all right. Them's fighting words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do, isn't it? Just then Wardlow just taking them all out as well. That was good. Yeah. Samoa Joe, just remind everybody, still one of the best promos.
And a mixed reaction to him.
Yeah.
Because there's someone's like, wait, you hit him from behind? It's like, well, should be talking poo then, hadn't he? So it's like people go, yeah, you're right. People go, no, you're wrong. And one guy called Paul going, hey, I hope Powerhouse Hobbs wins.
Yeah, who do you reckon that is, Dan?
Some guy could.
I reckon it's probably Triple H. Something must have happened there with negotiations with Triple H, maybe with NXT. He's the most topical Paul in wrestling today.
What's CM Punk's real name?
Phil.
Oh, never mind. I thought it had to be about him, so I'm like, did he forget his name?
It's Kenny. No, Kenny's just Tyson, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a video on the Cultaholic Wrestling YouTube channel. AEW wrestlers whose real names are better than their wrestling names or something like that. I can't remember what it was called.
What's Tyson's full name? What's Kenny Omega's real name? Like
Tyson Smith, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Tyson
That's pretty
Smith.
all right.
I think it sounds like a proper wrestler.
It's Kenny Alpha.
Yeah, Tyson Smith.
Oh, okay, cool.
Born the 16th of October, 1983.
Oh. I don't know why we talk about him. He's not making any appearances on this. Britt Baker talks about what she's achieved in just 3 years. She talks about helping to carry AEW during lockdown, something Saraya knows nothing about. Sorry, Saraya. Britt says she respects Saraya, but this business owes her nothing, and she won't be belittled. This is her house. So she's the face.
She is the face. That's what I've written down as well.
Yeah.
Because she did everything she claimed to have done in those 3 years. And of course, Saraya wasn't there while the pandemic was happening, holding it down. And then she just waltzed in there and the fans were back. But then we find out later on that Saraya is also the face who respects Britt Baker, kind of. This is just two stars in the wrestling galaxy going head to head. That's what I've learned here. They both think they're really fancy and famous, and they're going to see who is the fanciest and the famous.
It's going to be very interesting, the crowd's live reaction to this pay-per-view. I can see Britt Baker being overwhelmingly cheered.
So can I as well.
Yeah.
I think that's good as well, though. I think Saraya is a more natural heel. Out the two. Well, I'd say out the two. Baker's got more of the comedy nailed down, I think, than Saraya has.
She's got more entertaining lines.
More Jericho heelish sort of shtick.
Right.
While Saraya can be just more of a... Yes.
Sorry. When in doubt, just make a funny noise. Yeah, and they're like, this is my house. It's not your house, though.
Yeah.
You just got it here.
Not yet, though. She could claim it. With a win on Saturday at Full Gear.
Because Quatters rights at Full Gear. Death Triangle retained the AEW Trios titles against Top Flight, the reunited.
He was there, wasn't he? Darius.
Back again. Ready to lose, bless him. And AR Fox, who, God, I still don't know what the hell he did to not get a full run. Right now, the indie uprising of AEW and WWE the last few years, and he's still not got a contract with either of them. He's mint.
He was really good, yeah.
Yeah, Pac gave him a lot of love in this match, so that was nice. Pac cuts a promo afterwards, daring a certain trio to make their big return on Saturday and try and take their titles. I mean, we told them we were busy, but obviously, whatever. Oh, the Elite appear. The match graphic and the match is confirmed. That's it. That's how they're building the this pay-per-view.
They had to do it somehow.
Weird. Yeah.
It's going to do well. It's going to obviously the better that they announced them ahead of time for the pay-per-view buys and whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought it was all right for what it was. I thought it was okay. If they have the Death Triangle have been creating an issue by themselves, though, I feel. The Elite haven't been there to say anything.
And it's been great, hasn't it? Best build so far.
The match, though.
I kid.
Yeah, Ray and Darius, Liquid Wrestling.
Yep.
Dante and Ray then took the piss. And then AR Fox started taking the piss.
Yep.
And then Taz. He was watching Darius do his stuff in the ring. And he's like, someone said, like, oh, Darius is only 23. And he's like, when you're 23, nothing should ever be rusty. Or nothing should ever rust. And then Excalibur's like, he was in a car crash and was injured for ages. And Taz was just like, what? Whoops.
25 says we apologise as well. Yeah, I'm like, I'm blaming. There is a lot of people in the AEW roster, but it's just like, yeah, Darius, look at his rusty. It's like, he's just recovered now.
It's really funny the way it came off. Not intentional, obviously, but it was really funny.
Oh, they've got great charisma.
Yeah.
Like Taz and Excalibur, even talking complete bollocks.
It's good to see how good he was moving as well after going through that.
Right.
That can never be good, even if it's a little one.
It's so weird, isn't it? Like how wrestling works. It's like so-and-so isn't here because he had a swing of car accident. So just wait a few months. Oh, here he is, back together.
Yeah.
As if that's normal. Just leaves and comes back. Obviously, you won't see the hours and days of recovery and rehab. So, yeah.
It's been a while, though. Don't know what his last match was.
I couldn't tell you about checking.
Yeah.
I think he was involved in the Leo Rush thing. Was that when the whole just fell apart? Because it was, whatever.
Oh,
Anyway.
that's when they were trying to recruit Dante, was it? Was that?
You know what? It
All the recruitment storylines get mixed up.
especially that one where it's like, aha, he's joined us. Oh, no, he hasn't. He's betrayed us. Oh, okay, the whole thing's fell apart. Oh, whatever.
I did enjoy Pac just not doing too much in the match, but he's all about cutting corners, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's all about that hammer. So I enjoyed that role as well. But it was a really good match. And one of the main points about me thinking, oh, they're getting back on track now for a good Dynamite. So yeah, liked it.
Likewise. Even if they're losing on bloody Saturday. Ethan Page beats Bandito, the progress and the what? Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Do you mean the guy that they just signed 16 times and announced lots of times, obviously had him over Rush? Lost Ethan Page.
I like it though, because Ethan Page's thing has been getting more serious and taking wrestling more seriously and being considered more serious as a wrestler. And he's been doing that for a while now. So this is like a nice ascension. I think Ethan Page might be the heel that loses to the eventual winner. Maybe, unless he's going to be the heel that wins.
It's so weird because I like Ethan Page. I think he's a very good salesperson. I love him. But there's just been no build-up to this sudden push in World Title. It's just been he beat a guy, and like I said, with timing and stuff like that.
He cut a promo. He's like, I want to be more serious. And that was it.
And okay.
And he has been, to be fair, for weeks now. So
okay, fair enough. It's just surprising that Bandito would come in with all this hype, all this glory, and then loses to him. But fair enough.
It's not as if they had like lots of other wrestlers that could have put in this match.
That is true.
I get your point. Like, it is weird, like making it. Bandito had such a good performance against Jericho, and he gets signed. Everyone's like, "Whoa, that's good and deserved. He should be there because he's obviously one of the better wrestlers on the roster." And then he gets put in the tournament, wins a match, and then loses straight away. I see your point.
Oh, thank you.
But it was, I guess, Paige getting the rub off Bandito.
Lovely image you
nice.
present.
The power suplex though from Bandito was in the conversation for move of the week.
God, he's a freak, isn't he?
Yeah, and then the reversal out the Avalanche Ego's Edge on the ropes to the Frankensteiner was unbelievable. And then I'm asking the question, Maffew. I want you to answer this. Why isn't a body slam off the middle or top rope a finisher? Because that build up for the finish, where he just did a scoop, pronoun boy, as Jim Ross likes to say, doing the scoop slam off the ropes just into the match, it looked like it hurt really hard. It hurt really hard. I'm good at the English. It hurt very much.
I agree with you, as bad language as it was. Yes, you are right. I think they should build that up more because it's probably a little easier to do that than it is the bleed razor's edge off the top every bleed time. God. But yeah, I'd like to see something as simple as that. Like, all I need to do is slam me off the ropes.
Yeah.
That's what, maybe that's it. So I was able to beat Bandito because I was going to the ropes. He's a bloody luchador. Aha! Like, no, the slam.
Braun Strowman's like, at home.
Yeah. He's watching his match. Aha, I was right. I think today we get a backstage interview with Saraya. She says she's sick of the back and forth with Britt Baker and wants to sell it in the ring. Yes, no wonder. Yeah, because you're losing on the mic.
She is. She put her over a lot. Saraya put over Britt a lot. But that made me think maybe she's the babyface. They both like themselves a lot. They both tell the truth quite a lot in their promos. We'll see who wins. I don't know who's the heel and who's the face. I think it's meant to be Saraya's the... No, it's not though, is it? Maybe there isn't one. Maybe we're going back to the Cody Rhodes
maybe it's like
style.
Cena Rock.
Yeah, whatever.
Toni Storm beats Anna JAS and Jamie Hayter confronts her after the bell, and they have a tense stare down ahead of their title match. Whoa, that's one way of calling it.
Bit weird, wasn't it? She didn't have to come out there. She didn't have to do anything of that. She got a music played, though, and that's always a bonus. What a banger of a song.
Didn't even have to threaten, like, backstage Loomis either. So, yeah, looking forward to this match. Jamie Hayter's had a good build-up.
Yeah.
Not looking at you, Ethan Page. Say Jamie Hayter months and months and months of people wanting to be beating people. So, yeah, I can see Jamie Hayter beating Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be. I think it should be the way it goes because it opens up a lot more interesting things, especially if Saraya beats Britt and Britt's on a downer, and then Jamie wins the interim title. She's on more of a downer.
Great? What a great show! Like,
yeah. Then obviously they're going to split up because I didn't like when Hayter went back to when the teased to split up earlier in the year, and Hayter just went back like, oh, there's nothing wrong here, even though there was. So hopefully she gives her the beating that she should have had back then. It was a nice back and forth match though between Anna.
So it was, yes.
That was one of Anna J. I think it might be Anna J's best match ever. I would just maybe put out there into the world somehow.
I can't think of any others.
Yeah,
for contention. And yeah, Tony looking good and credible and get to do her highlights and stuff because sometimes she's done this and people are like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, this is good.
Yeah, it is good.
What are you guys watching?
Just wish she could talk with a bit more chutzpah. You know what I mean? She's a bit like no, she's not. I'm not going to say that. Good. I was going to compare it to where Zoe Stark in NXT, how she's like too softly spoken. But that's not a valid criticism, is it? It's just a voice. You can't help that.
Right. I think it's one of these weird things, though. Toni Storm, when she's talking naturally, she's like, yeah, it's got the cookie. It's like, yeah, Toni Storm, me.
Then she cuts a promo and she's a bit like,
I'm Toni Storm. John Moxley talks about how much he loves to fight, saying he's sick in the head. Yeah, we know.
That took a long time to say things we already knew. We knew he was a sicko. We knew that about you, John.
He's got to do something to get this up. He talks about MJF and calls to return the worst ending to a ladder match ever. That was the point. The firm rushed the ring, you were listening, Jack, and attack Moxie and Regal, but MJF comes out to save the day. He clears the ring and says he didn't want to do it to save Moxie. He did it because he doesn't want them to interfere in their match on Saturday. He cuts a fiery promo about how much he needs the title. And again, quotes CM Punk's devil promo, especially at the start. Hope you can hear me, John, as you're lying there in pain.
Yeah.
Moxie has the final word, and the two stare each other down with Regal in the middle. Love that game at the playground.
Regal in the middle.
Yeah.
There was a bit there where they foreshadowed a bit of things, I reckon, where he's cutting the promo where he's like, there'll be no Diamond Dynamite ring rest.
No, he didn't do that, Ross. You got out of one breath.
Dynamite ring necessary. Isn't that right, Will? Who, as I think we speculated on the pictures video, did we, that he could potentially go and think about using the Dynamite ring, put it down, and then Billy Regal hands him some knucks to get the job done and align himself with MJF. That was good. The stat that Moxley brought out, that there was one win for MJF in the last 6 months. Obviously, he's been missing for a large chunk of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, hang on. That's
not 6 months, though, is it? Is it 6 months? It will be. May? This year's flying by.
Yeah.
I'd ignore that then. The line about a kid playing wrestler, if John Moxley can say it.
That's in theory? Oh,
so
sorry.
Yeah. No shortcuts. MJF. Yeah, I like that. MJF is still very much being a babyface right until the pay-per-view to make what I think is going to happen. The turn and doing something to take a shortcut. Even more impactful. Although it was a slow start of the segment, but it got going and it was good.
God, it really feels like this pay-per-view is just waiting for everyone to like lose their titles and the next wave, the next period of ring apologies. AEW, hopefully not. AEW to carry on.
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter ascending to the top, finally. MJF win the title and against Moxie in a match that'll be way better than the last pay-per-view.
That needs to happen as well. Like MJF cannot lose that one. They've got to. Is there a way you can think of where MJF could lose that and just continue? Because he's lost so many big well, I say so many. He's lost a fair few of the big matches he's had so far. He cannot lose this one and continue his momentum, can he? I feel like I want a kick-off show for WWE now. What do you think, Pete Rosenberg?
Well, I think I paid to be here. Allegedly.
You know what I mean, though? It feels like the time is now.
Yeah, the time is now for the next stage. We've finally gotten that thing. The Elite coming back and beat Death Triangle. It's like, yeah, finally. It's like, all right, everything's sorted out now. Bit rocky, but we know where we're going now. You know where we're going now? It's the next segment.
What's the next segment? Hot Reese's.
What's the next segment?
Hot mailbag.
I think we've been doing it for years.
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
Have a little scrabble around the mailbag. Number 1. Good day, Cultaholic. Good day.
Hello.
I've been training for marathon running, and I've been listening to the dulcet tones of the podcast as I run long distances. Last night on Dynamite, I noticed a young man in the front row with the most glorious helmet hair I've ever seen. I was distracted during the Mox promo, as it honestly looked to me like his hair affixed to his head, like a Lego figurine or a Playmobil. The longer I looked at him, the more familiar he looked. Then it hit me. In September of 2009, CM Punk entered the ring in full Jeff Hardy gear and entrance song. I remember this. As the crowd realized they were being duped, this iconic crowd shot aired. Show pictures now, please.
That's the AEW Dynamite picture there. Anyone recognize that man from?
Yeah, he works for Cultaholic.
When he was probably younger.
Oh my god.
Is this the same person? The hair, the glasses, the general disinterest in what's happening in the ring. Also, the age would track. Do you have the picture of what you used to look like?
There you go. Is that the famous man from back in the day? He's watching this. I reckon he could either that is him or he's furious.
That hair. He's legally allowed to drive a car without a seatbelt. Then be safe.
To be fair, that would have been the style back then. What would that be, like 2011 or a bit earlier?
2009.
It was 2009.
He was in his mid-teens in 2009. He'll be in his late 20s now. What do you all think? Love, we're doing this detective work.
If anyone knows in the comments, if the guy's watching himself, let us know.
Yeah, he's all the way over there, so we can't talk to him. On this note, I have often been distracted by the front rows facing hardcam on AEW shows for a while now. It seems like there is always a lineup of white dudes who don't react to anything going on in the ring. Helmet Hair was looking down at his phone a lot. And after the main event, the entire front row gave a lackluster golf clap. It really bums me out to see the people with the best seats in the house looking bored, even when the matches are very good. At least no one in Boston was aggressively promoting their podcast. Is it just me, or is it bothering anyone else? Thank you, Nick from Los Angeles. Thank you very much, Nick. Wow, what a lovely question. Hope the marathon running goes very well for yourself, pal.
Likewise.
So it's like, I love the question. It's like, rant. What do you think? So do people on the front shows of AEW bother?
Sorry, just punched my microphone there.
So the people listening to this, it's the third, so I have to do that now. Are they bothering? I'm noticing them. There is a lot of people, not a lot, obviously, but the fact that you notice them more than once or twice, I mean, there's a lot in my head of people bringing up signs that are like anti-AEW and like, oh, it must be pro-Cornette. And you're like, but you've got really good seats, so they must have
and you
cost
paid
you
a lot of money, yeah.
You paid a lot of money to hate something, so I guess it is a fine line between love and hate after all there. But that's always struck me as odd, because why would you go to the show just to not enjoy it? But,
yeah.
Well. But never really bothered me, because I'm having a good time.
I've never noticed them. I'll be honest with you. I've never noticed, like, it's just a crowd. It's just, I'm always focused on the ring. The action in the ring. No, there was certain signs sometimes catch your interest, especially at AEW because the signs are more creative. Like this week, there was like, I want Jamie Hayter to beat me up.
I saw them.
There's a clip for everybody to use. Not my words, the words of the sign in the crowd in this week's Dynamite.
Make that a Twitch notification.
But yeah, that's it. I don't notice them at all, to be honest with you.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
It's crazy because the quality of video we're able to watch wrestling at, we're like, wow, I can see everything. I can see all the people in the house, and they're bored. I wonder if wrestlers are like get annoyed watching their matches back and goes, God, look at them.
It must be like, because you think about, imagine how good people consider Rock and Hogan to be one of the greatest matches of all time. Yeah. It's not down to the action, it's down to the crowd. Yeah. So imagine if you're having a legitimate, the masses would call a 5-star match, and the crowd's just like, people aren't going to think about it the same, are they? It must be so annoying.
Right. Good point. Does it bother anyone else? Please let us know in the comments. Hello, gents. Hello. First-time writer, about 2 to 3 year listener, enjoyer, cavorker of this lovely, girthy podcast where Maffew sighs in sadness at the start of every segment. Is that what I'm doing? Ross has the most lovely and infectious little laugh. Oh, you do.
Something.
And my favorite pronunciation, emphasis on the word bitch. Can you give us a bitch?
Bitch. Bob. Just doing Rowan Atkinson now.
You really are.
Yeah. Bitch.
Bob. And Jack has some random, yet surprisingly relevant story to any story. Sorry for any spot fillers that may be present. You are all lovely as well. Especially the Energizer Bunny. That is Tom. Good comparison, pal. As an avid listener, I know that you all huge movie buffs. Oh.
Yeah, we are. To a man.
Yes. This week, I finally watched the movie Inception, starring Matt Damon, the guy from Wolf of Wall Street who's never flipping leaving. Like we all thought about VKM.
Does Dan know? Dan
Is that
knows.
a joke? You know it's Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Anyway, whatever. Because the movie is about, spoiler warning for those who have not seen it. Have you seen it?
No.
All right. And planting ideas in the minds of others, it leads to an idea being planted into my head for a question. What is one idea/thought that each of you would plant into the minds of the three big bookers, which is Papa Trips, TK, and Gato? That's what we're all talking about now in 2022. Of the professional wrestling world today, you only have to choose one idea for any of the three, and not one idea per booker, few, unless you all want to have the first ever sacred, tintillating, yet elusive 5-hour podcast. Keep up the great work of entertaining me during work hours, drives around town, or nights where I can't seem to sleep. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is Tariq from Miami, Florida. Please get the map out, lol. Oh, great, the map.
God, it's been a while since the map's been seen.
The map, not map. The mappy.
Wow.
Knocking over all the stuff. Doing that. Pineapple Monster, full of regret. Not buying that again.
I can't drink Monster anymore. Since I've turned 30, when I drink like a full can of Monster in a day, not like just necking it down even. After over a few hours, I'm like, must be when you get a bit older, you just can't hack it anymore.
I'm learning that.
Yeah.
But would only be drinking these if I really needed to. But yeah, still feeling rough.
Yeah.
So thank you, Monster, for nothing. So Florida. Have we had Florida yet? But
Only you can
Miami.
read that right, and I'm sorry.
As a rundown, we have had Michigan, Mississippi, Arizona, Kansas, Pittsburgh, I think it says Pennsylvania, Washington State, Georgia, Atlanta, Connecticut, New York, Indiana, Illinois, a.k.a. Chicago Pizza, it says. I don't understand that. Vancouver, British Columbia, that's Canada, Southwestern Pennsylvania, Arizona again, South California, just, I guess, all California then, I guess, if it's not South California. And now, finally, Miami, Florida. It's exciting stuff, isn't it?
Wow, I've just read
We'll get all of them one day.
Reading an article from reputable source, Sportskeeda. He's coming back. Wrestling World convinced CM Punk will return AEW following a reference during John Moxley's segment on Dynamite.
Who is convinced?
Oh, because of the reference to, the MJF's, you hope you're lying there comfortably.
Yeah, Wrestling World, so it's just...
All of us believe that.
That's rubbish. Rubbish. Anyway, so Inception is a good film, but yeah, there's a lot of part of like putting ideas in people's heads and going, aha, and they wake up like, wow, I've had this idea. I'm going to put the belt on come Tuesday, and that's how it would work. So
I wish they would do that.
I know you do.
Yeah, but Heckenbottom's not on that list. Heckenbottom!
Oh, all right. So Papa Trips, an idea for Papa Trips.
So you could put one idea into his head to make him change something about WWE.
Drew McIntyre beats Roman Reigns at the castle.
Oh.
No, wait, do I think that? Like,
I don't agree with that one. I'm fine with Roman
at the
continuing.
time, yeah. Because I'm like, but now it's like, well, he is still the best thing about WWE today. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, Drew.
Sami Zayn being the one to topple Roman at WrestleMania.
Yes.
I don't think they'll do it, so I think that's the one idea. Have, Sami, him, just keep it going until after the Rumble, then something happens, and then Sami ends up, being the valiant babyface. What was it? The heart and soul of NXT arrives. The heart and soul of SmackDown, and he's the one to take down Roman at WrestleMania. I don't think that'll happen, but I want it to. So very much.
Man, that's a good one.
Oh,
God, I'm
thanks.
trying to think of any that's even close to that.
Less Austin Theory?
I think we're getting. I don't know how to do that. Austin Theory's rubbish. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. All right. Dexter Lumis killed Miz.
In kayfabe, hopefully. Or really. Oh!
Yay. Take a.
Oh, where do you even bloody start? And that's not me being negative. There's just a lot more stuff to go at now. Wait, the big one would be just Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Just not on Dynamite, not on Rampage. Make Rampage go back to what it was, a nice little accoutrement to Dynamite, where you get a match that's set up on Dynamite, on Rampage, given time. to flourish. Lovely stuff. I guess that's the big one. That's my one.
Yeah. Stop signing people. You've got enough. Gedo. Wow, us big fans of New Japan.
I know. Do whatever made New Japan. Well, no, I know it was the Bullet Club. Was it the Bullet Club that made New Japan so cool and whatever it was back in like 2016, 17 sort of time?
People watching during that period seem to say so. People who were watching New Japan beforehand were like, get away. New Japan was fine before you idiots came along.
But it certainly got a lot bigger when they came along.
Over the West, certainly.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. I don't know because my cool friends don't watch it anymore, and I want to be cool.
Yeah. I don't know if Sam does. Because that was my thing. Sam was the only one who really sort of like religiously watched it. He'd always tell me about what was going on and whatnot. So I don't know if he still does. He's on holiday at the minute. Can't ask him.
Yeah.
He's in Loch Angeles.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can say hello to some of the people that... No, don't do that. But yeah. So we had a better answer for you, but we haven't been watching it.
Yeah, I never did. Remember that Wrestle Kingdom we live reacted to?
Yeah.
Was it 2018's?
The only bit I remember...
was nothing.
When it hit me, when it was... That was the one that says, all right, bye, Bullet Club. You're going, are you? Bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. And I was like, I said to Pacitti, don't know if you remember this. So how do you feel about these guys who are part of a really big company leaving to set their own little company up by themselves? Anyway, Maffew, do you want a cup of tea? Only good bit about that. I guess they were like, Maffew, you'll know all about this. I'm like, what, New Japan?
I remember before that stream thinking, I've got to swap myself up here and make myself look like an expert. I remember saying this to you directly.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. Just don't pretend to be something you're not, I guess. That's the message of that story.
Be true to yourself.
Yes.
So we all were 3 bored people going, this isn't going to do numbers, is it? Oh, that's a good move. But thank you very much, Tariq. Morning, diddlers. Morning. Watching back the 2020 Royal Rumble. Oh, Brock goes on a tear, eliminates everyone until Drew comes in. I'm unsure on your thoughts on this Rumble. One of my favorite parts is when Shelton Benjamin comes in and reunites with Brock. The booking of Shelton has never been the best since his first run, but it made me wonder why they have never ran Brock versus Shelton. What are your thoughts on this? And do you think it could work now? And could they work it so they push Shelton further? Keep up all the work you do. Former Arsenal, Middlesbrough and Celtic striker, Jeremiah
Ali. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, Ali.
Take my hand. Jamie, Lancaster, England. Oh, let me get the map of England. Thank you very much, Jamie. Why have they never run? Well, they were tag partners to begin with.
For a short space of time. I thought there was so much more legs they could do. Because Shelton was Brock's trainer, wasn't he, initially? And they obviously, was it roomed together at Michigan's something or other?
They were roommates.
Yes. So there's a lot of history there to go off. And I thought them as a sort of tag team, Shelton could be there every week with Paul. Well, because this was back when Lesnar still had that, well, he still does, doesn't he? The part-time contract, but people hated him for it back in that period of time. So it could have been like what Cesaro was for Brock. Because after the streak ending, that was, I think it was one of Kenny's tours inside the ropes. It was like, why were you paired with Cesaro and it didn't go anywhere? Yeah. He was like, Cesaro was mainly there, or only there, just to make sure I could be on TV every week to remind everybody Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker. So you could have something like where Heyman was with Shelton. Because I know Shelton's not the strongest on the microphone, but he's not the worst, is he? He could do it on his own, but having him with Heyman, like keeping Brock in people's minds would have worked, I thought, but shame didn't go there. And the match, when the blow-off happened, eventually, would have been a barn burner. Because imagine when Brock's invested, there's nobody better, is there?
You know, I think if this did it, Brock versus Shelton like that, it would be meh. But if they go, oh, okay, like if they go about the stats, goes, I trained you, and never mind this wrestling stuff. They do like collegiate style, or did like the one pin to finish. That could work great. Yeah. This did nothing but collegiate stuff or whatever. Could we see that? That'd be an interesting thing. Do Brock versus Shelton, it's like, okay. And then what for the other 2 hours, 59 minutes on Raw? So
what about the story where like Shelton uses the one thing he didn't teach Brock Lesnar to beat him? Whoa!
Brock goes, I only know 3 moves, and I've done rather well with them. So thank you very much. But yeah, it is weird because, like I said beforehand, every time Shelton goes and appears, everyone from a certain period of history, if they watched him in 02, Team Angle, watch him with his mama, watch
the
him
gold standard.
Yeah, they got gold standard, Money in the Bank, all these different versions of him. World's greatest tag team, all the rest, and just gone, come on. That one time he had the promo and that was it.
What was that about? That never got clear. I know a lot of people speculate online. Yeah, Just didn't look like the microwave was on. Oh, have I left the cooker on at home? There was a nice background on those shots as well.
Chips. Yeah, weird stuff. But yeah, like many people, but Brock versus Shelton.
With the right story.
You stole me money from when we're... What do you mean, like $2 from like 20 years ago? What, really? We're feuding over this?
Shelton's like, I've got your nudes from 20 years ago. I found them in your dresser. It's good.
No, that'd be, you know what? Brock would sell for Shelton.
Polaroids.
Brock against the dude his size. I'm not even bothered about you. I'm not even gonna blink. I'm thinking about my money I'm making off this match. A guy already comes up to his tits. Oh no, not you. He's so great.
It's because he can't bend down properly. Too much muscle. Everything goes with him.
Right,
Like we can go. He can't, it's all. That's my rationale.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a wrestling expert.
A wrestling gold, some may say. But very trademark that term, so never mind, pal. You know, it's been a gold. The people who send in the lovely questions week after week to the lovely, sexy, scrubby mailbag, you can be one of those beautiful people by sending it to mailbag@cultaholic.com. Greetings, gents. Hope you're all well. The theme of my email is golden errors, as unfortunately, I generally seem to miss the peak time for too many things I care about, specifically wrestling, gaming, and football. My introduction to wrestling was watching WWE from 07 onwards, missing the attitude and ruthless aggression errors, instead relishing, the anonymous Raw GM, heel Michael Cole, and Deuce and Domino versus insert random jobbers here. Similarly, my first game experience was James Bond Nightfire, rather than the far more fondly remembered GoldenEye, late the party again. My football team, Leeds United's real heyday, the 1970s, again a miss. Oh, bless you. However, an exception to this is international football, as I grew up to watch our last English golden generation balls it all up. With the 2022 World Cup fast approaching and a supposed new English golden era on the horizon, Southgate dependent, I thought that this week used to guarantee a 3 Lions win by improving the current England squad, replacing the current players with their more electrifying wrestling equivalents to create a true golden era. Fastest thought first, no restrictions on gender, active, non-active, wrestler's nationality, etc. Oh, okay. I've given reference points to each player in case Mr. Botchamania / knowledge viewers need context. No insult intended. No, none taken. I've also picked a generic Southgate team. I must make it abundantly clear that I would not pick Slabhead ever. E.g., if we were doing Portugal's team, I would replace Cristiano Ronaldo, in brackets, ultra-talented egomaniac, with MJF. Due to their similar trait, like leaving midway through. Wow, how about that? Ronaldo has booked a ticket on the airport, we can confirm. Wow, thank you very much, mate. Bloody hell, let's get this out of the way.
If you can leave all that running, come on down. It's your time to shine.
Come on, lad.
Dan knows the soccer.
Sorry to interrupt the podcast, everyone. I'm Dan, the editor. When I applied for this job, I thought it was going to be about cults. Turns out it's a wrestling company, and I've kind of pretended to know what I'm talking about just to keep my job. Like, is Come Tuesday a wrestler or an instruction? At this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Please forgive my lack of expertise in the following wrist piss. Regular programming will resume next week.
Right. Goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, in brackets, makes very average saves look class, absolute poo house, occasional botcher.
I've got one. Go on, Dan.
Do you want to start us off?
Sammy Guevara.
Oh, I was going to say Chris Jericho there. A bit of a poo house.
Botcher. Ooh.
Fastest foot.
I know. See, the football I can do. If it was reverse round, I could do it round like that. But
Who's a poo house in football?
what, in football?
No, in wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I got confused with the rules.
Eddie Kingston.
Oh! I would have said it's the very opposite. Dan's making a statement on the podcast.
No.
This is why Dan doesn't talk.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Round 2. Luke Shaw, a bit podgy and pushed above better players. Is it too soon to see Ethan Page?
I can't say this about anybody. A bit podgy.
Eddie Kingston.
Damn it. Dan.
A bit podgy. Oh, man. A bit podgy and pushed. I'll just go on the pushed against other people who are better
Go
than.
on.
Strowman.
Ooh,
He's
okay.
he's not podgy, though. But he fits the other bit.
Yeah. He's not a bit podgy, but he won't get on those scales. Harry Maguire, a football equivalent of Liz Truss.
What wrestler has a massive head?
Jordan Devlin. Jenny McDonough, sorry.
Yeah. Albert.
Albert, yeah. Who shouldn't be there but is there? That's the story of Harry Maguire.
Alberto Del Rio.
He's not even anywhere at the minute, is he?
Yeah, he's supposed to be.
We'll go with that then.
Yeah.
Bertie Del Rio.
John Stones. Promising youth, but now on the sideline a lot. Ooh.
That's unfair. He plays a lot for City in England.
Austin Theory.
Oh. I'll go for someone who's in their prime, in the big time. Lovely head of hair.
Darius Martin.
Darius Martin. That's exactly who I was thinking as well. It wasn't really. I can't think of one. I'll go with Darius Martin. In their prime. He's good. He plays all the time. That's unfair, that comment there, I'd say. You'd say that was unfair as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Stones plays a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah. Good on the ball. Barcelona won.
Featured a lot with great hair. That's what we're saying here.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn's got great hair.
He's got a lot of it.
He makes it work.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on. Bloody hell.
Right back. Trent A. Arnold. Amazing in attack, but can't protect those around him.
Oh. Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
Gigi and JC got wiped out before this week's show.
That is true, yeah. And she was like, hey, you guys, hi. What's happening? It's like, yeah, cheers.
Oh, the pressure's got them.
Yeah.
I've been a bit unfair there.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase, just throwing Virgil. Get him.
If you want it, if you're not feeling comfortable, Dan, you don't have to be.
Pass. I confidently
the
pass.
footballer's passed the ball. You're supposed to. Jude Bellingham, a very young, world-class talent.
Daniel Garcia. Is he
Oh.
young? Is he young?
He's young.
alright,
Yeah. I'll put my MJF card in that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. God, yeah, he's disgustingly young, isn't he? What's his? Oh, is that lad AEW signed who's still at college? Has to finish his degree before they let him on the roster.
Who?
Oh,
Bass Rutten?
yeah, JD Rutten.
Him there.
Oh, so you know, I've forgotten that guy's name.
Well, I get it if I search AEW College
Yeah, AEW signs a young'un.
signs. God, people at home are screaming it, aren't they? Parker Bodo? Nicholas?
Why is there a match going for him? The youngest book, it says.
I've got Parker Bordeaux. That's the only one that's coming up. I know you don't mean him. Or do you mean him?
No, if it doesn't come up, I'm picking him.
Nah, God knows who you mean.
Oh, whatever. Parker Bordeaux it is. Sorry, pal. Whatever. Oh, what's his name? Caden Carter?
Caden Carter. From NXT?
Yeah. 2 dimes. He's like 12, isn't he?
Caden Carter's from the Cowie Girls. You mean Stacks? Chayton.
What's his name?
Something
Something Carter?
I would just know him as 2 dimes.
Yeah, 2 dimes. Oof. Brutal, that.
This is a
Declan Rice, a good player who should be at a better club in a better career position than he is.
Matt Cardona.
Oh, okay.
There was rumours this week I saw on the interweb saying the Triple H might be interested. I'd be game for that if you can be Matt Cardona.
He was posting belts he'd won.
Ah.
Like him and win the IC belt at WrestleMania crap.
32.
Yeah, there we go.
If he could be Matt Cardona, I'd love to see him back. But if he's going to be Zack Ryder, ugh.
Right.
Ugh.
Big difference. I'll pick AR Fox.
Yeah.
I'll go Miro because he was billed from one country and then went to another, didn't he? So that's Declan Rice.
Where's Declan Rice?
It was Republic of Ireland, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then he left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Him and Jack Grealish.
I think he's got parents or a parent or a grandparent that was Irish.
They get really...
Yeah. 'Cause he sounds like a Cockney. I guess he grew up here.
Raheem Sterling moves like nobody else in history. It's good.
Tama Tonga
Okay.
moves like a spider.
That's good.
Like a demon, I think I compared him to a few years ago. The way he goes around the ring.
I remember you saying that.
Rey Mysterio, little fella.
Is Raheem Sterling not a big lad?
No, he's tiny.
Nice guy, really.
Yeah. Little boy.
I watch him on a big TV, so
And
stand next to him.
He's always really close to the camera.
Who's good on their feet?
Who's got great footwork, are you saying?
Oh, Pac.
Christian Cage. Best footwork.
Yeah, fastest he walks is gets paycheck. Phil Foden, young Gaza Mark II. Oh,
Gotta be careful here, I guess. Just who's young and proper bloody talented at their craft.
Just all the wrestlers now, isn't it? Well, actually, no, it's not true. They're all
Wheeler
ancient.
Yuta, I'll go for.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Let's pick the energy, lad.
I'm thinking. I want to make it good. Young Gaza. God.
Can't have any dead air. I'm going to fill all the dead air.
Seth Rollins, because he dyes his hair, and Phil Fallon dyed his hair
there
last
you go,
tournament.
man. Bleach blonde in there.
It's a bit of a
Tyler
stretch.
Bate. Is he still young? I don't know.
Of course he is.
He just looks old. He's had a hard 2 years. Bukayo Osaka, haunted by a previous mistake. Shockmaster.
Where do you start there? Oh, yeah, Shockmaster. Haunted by a previous mistake. Who still gets it thrown at them in the world of wrestling today?
Dana Brooke.
Whatever they did. Yeah.
Corey Graves, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It's a hard one to answer that without being a bit
Drew
of a poo.
McIntyre not winning it, the castle.
Jey Uso.
Oh, yep.
Usi. That's thrown in his face all the time, the poor get. Interesting video here from Wrestling Observer. MJF praises Tony Khan in post AEW Dynamite promo.
Ugh, makes you sick, doesn't
He's
it?
going to give him the title, isn't he? Whoa.
Yeah.
Dan?
I was going to say Jeff Hardy, but it's a bit dark, isn't it? But Jeff Hardy, I guess.
It's a good pick, though.
Yeah.
And striker Harry Kane. And it says Captain America put English and with a lisp. Jack one.
Jack Swagger.
I was about to say that. This is the first thing I
Or
could...
Jake Hager,
S'mores.
whatever it's going now.
Who else has got a lisp in the wrestling?
Oh, who better than Kanyan? Oh.
That's where we end the segment.
Oh.
End the pain.
All the best, lads. Ugh. The ghostly ancestors of Celestine Bavario. We rise each Halloween to spread the news of our great-grandson's magnificent calves. What the hell? Well, thank you very much for that. Oh, sorry. A.K.A. Alex from Leeds. I read that bit. Thank you very much for the Reese's Pieces. An amazing one this week. We've had to bring in special guests.
I apologise.
The forbidden door has been shut in the face. Once again, of Reese's Pieces. And you can send your Reese's Pieces or your crazy thoughts, no matter how convoluted, to mailbag@cultaholic.com.
It's Cultaholics.
That was a rough Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
That. Don't worry about
It was
that.
a
Dan.
Reese's Pieces of two halves.
That was unfair for me to put you in the spotlight like that.
And both those halves were rotten. But before we get the big question this week, so a lovely shout out to our producers. Jacob Castle.
Castle.
Chris Ruth.
Routh. It's Routh.
Routh,
He's the
I'm
Routh
sorry.
from the south.
Buddy.
Buddy.
Murphy. Reno 2200.
2200.
Nick Harvey.
Harvey.
And Noah
Anderson.
Pause.
Anderson.
Can't believe we're still doing that.
People can I.
Wow.
Yeah, every week I hope it goes.
It's been a big week for wrestling and talking, but still just a little bit more of the podcast. And it is this week's big question. What is the best match at
Going to be.
AEW Full Gear going to be?
Yeah. You've pulled it round.
Oh,
I thought you forgot the going to be bit. I was like,
Oh,
I
no,
haven't
no.
seen it yet.
what was? Time Travelers. Let's go through the list, bottom to top. Wardlow versus Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs. A three-way match for AEW's TNT Championship held by Wardlow.
I want that one to be the best match of the night. I want to see three massive men just hit each other really hard.
I should point out this is before the Rampage, before the pay-per-view. So always
got
got to add a few more matches on it.
Yeah, we've only got 11 at the minute. They're normally around about 15 to 17 range, aren't they?
Got more matches on the Barbie. Death Triangle taking on the Elite. Yes, they're back.
One of the
AEW
obvious
World
picks, isn't
Trios.
it? One of the obvious picks for match of the night.
Yeah. You get into Pac and Kenny. So at least they've had bangers in the past. And bangers in the past. Ooh, looking forward to you now when I get home. And the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. I think they've had a few good matches in the past. I don't know. It's been
Maybe,
so long
yeah.
now. Ugh. Steel cage match. Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy.
I think that'll be more storyline driven with Christian doing stuff at ringside. So that might keep it, in terms of sheer star ratings, keep it a bit further down than it might have been otherwise. That's not a bad thing.
That's a good point. But I was particularly impressed by their singles match they had on Dynamite a few weeks ago. And I think they're going to have a banger.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
More
it.
sausages.
I've got to stop saying banger. Damn you, Sheamus. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Team TNA versus Sting and Darby Allin.
I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be bad. Jay Lethal's good. Jeff Jarrett, he's still got the best working punches in the world of wrestling today.
Yep.
The other two obviously can still do it. What will Sting jump off that's really high this time? I can't wait to find out because it seems to happen every AEW pay-per-view. So he finds somewhere different to fall. Or jump, sorry, not fall. He's not Tyrus. He's not Tyrus.
Few wrestlers are, Ross. It'll be something. Britt Baker, DMD versus Saraya.
That'll just be a fight. Fight night.
Again,
Down Donnybrook Lane.
I'm just looking forward to hearing the reactions of the crowd. Oh, there's previous emailer has said, just a bored head of helmet lads watching. Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose for Nyla's AEW TBS Championship.
I've got a feeling that one will be over quite quickly. I feel like Jade's just going to flatten it and then just like take the title back. I think that's what might happen, in my humble opinion. I know nothing. What do you think, Maffew?
I also know nothing. I hope it's competitive because Jade's just batted people daft until the right person's come along. And I go, well, okay, can Nyla just be doing it then? So, you know what? I'd be all right, though, if Jade won.
It would be quite interesting if somehow Nyla's still left with the title. She might lose the match. Because she probably still should lose the match with the streak in mind. But if she left somehow with the physical title, that would still be quite fun.
Yeah, Jade wins, man. Let's keep the title. That's fun. Four-way match for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Yes, it is this weekend, Ross. Jericho versus Danielson versus Castagnoli versus Guevara. In a weird way, though, because there's no story to that, it's just like, okay, that's going to be a good match with a title on the line.
There's a little bit of a story with Jericho and Guevara. Will Sammy fall in line and just do Jericho's work?
No, you've made up this story.
No, there was a promo last week where the Jericho was like, what the hell was that? Chris? there was a promo last week where Jericho was like, yeah, you're going to fall in line, aren't you, Sammy? And then Sammy was just, after Jericho walked off, he was like...
That's what I mean. One promo, and then back to it. Like, there's not even a slight...
That's a bit of story. Will Sammy fall in line or not? And I think he won't. I think you'll turn on Chris Jericho and maybe walk away with the title for that heat, brothers.
Actually, at this point, I'd be all right with that happening because the Jericho beating previous Ring of Honor champs has just gone out the window now.
Yeah, but what can they do?
Again, I thought that like guys like Homicide lined up or whatever, and it's just like, no, how about a former Ring of Honor tag team champion, Cal Capone? Oh God, never mind. Oh, abandoned ship. Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter.
Yes,
very much looking forward to this.
Yeah.
AEW Women's World Championship. Jamie Hayter's time to shine.
Yeah, the story. I hope the story goes right because I feel like the right thing to do now is for Hayter to win and obviously throw it in Britt Baker's face a bit after she loses to Saraya because you can't have Saraya losing her first match back after so many years, in my opinion. But I don't know. They might do that. But yeah, it's going to be a good match. Yeah.
Ethan Page versus To Be Determined because
Ricky Starks hasn't wrestled his matches yet.
Yeah.
That's why it's to be determined. I think it's Ricky Starks going to win the whole thing.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If that's the match, it'll be good. Unless they do what Ricky Starks did at the last pay-per-view and get this massive build-up and then have like a 4-minute match. What was all that about?
I think time issues is what they say, so which is slang for the elite one, as long as they want it to. The Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. The rubber match.
Swerve's going to get battered there, isn't he? By Keith.
I hope we get the bit where Swerve's about to use some sort of horrible device or cheating. Yeah, on the Acclaimed. And then Keith has to make a decision and he's just going to go, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, indubitably.
Yeah. This is a big posh word and then just hits him with a spanner.
Yeah.
It hits him with a dictionary.
Not a dictionary, a thesaurus.
No, put down the Encyclopedia Britannica. Spam. John Moxley versus MJF. A singles match for the AEW World Championship. This is MJF's Casino Ladder Poker Chip cash-in match. Cashed in beforehand.
High drama. I think it's in the conversation, but I don't think it will be. But I can't work out in my head what will be the best match of the night. I've got my heart saying the three big men slapping their meat just because I like that sort of thing. With some flippies and floppies, obviously, from the likes of Wardlow, who proved he can't do that on this week's Dynamite. I'm not disregarding the flippies and the floppies. Death Triangle and Elite are going to be up there, obviously. Their first match back in a while is going to be a Bobby Dazzler.
No, they'll be rusty like Darius Martin.
Tony Storm, well, you could say backstage, there's been a car crash recently. Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter's in the conversation, as is the Acclaimed, as is if it's Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks, as is the main. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, you know what? Like, if you watched if you watched every episode like we have, like, because we're nerds who watch wrestling, you'd have been guilty of thinking it's a bit of a weak lineup. Now you look at it going, wait, no, this looks like really good.
No, we have
There's some stories that I'm like could be better, sure, but as far as match quality goes, Yeah.
There hasn't been a bad AEW pay-per-view so far, and we're 3 and a bit years in.
I mean, you need that tier list. The last one with Mox MJF, that was...
Yeah, they've not been bad, though, have they? They've been just
flat out bad. That's the
worse
closest
than the rest.
That's the closest that they've come to a proper bad show,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But no, this one, I will be getting my money's worth of this. I've never felt disappointed by watching one of these, so...
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be 3 or 4 more matches added. I don't know what they are off the top of my
I
head.
hate it.
Yeah. I think that's a good card. If they left it like that, I'd be happy. I know that they probably will add a match or 2 after Rampage, but
Yeah, but that's like, Chris Tarrant holding that check. So a check for $100,000. But we don't want to give you that. Be something else happening.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to talking about it with yourself next week. I don't know how you'll have the time to do so because you'll be getting this ready. You'll be getting the first episode of that brand new football podcast. What's
I
it
don't know
called
if there'll be a
again?
podcast, but there'll be a tier list going on youtube.com/@HoldAndGive,
There
where
you
we
go.
go through the World Cup kits. I might start doing a couple of videos like True Geordie used to do back in the day. Try and steal his thunder. I won't do it like not that thunder, the other thunder he had
Any
years
other week,
ago.
any other period of history.
He can keep that thunder. I'm on about the other thunder from years ago.
Yeah.
So I'll just
The lightning.
If you like football, that'll be the channel for you, and we'll try and make it work in a way. But it's just going to be in my spare time at the minute, and I'm fine with that. Gives us something to do on the weekends.
Yeah. Keeps you off the streets.
Yeah, it does. But as well, those all voiceovers I was doing this week, so nothing to promote from me
Fantastic.
this week. You?
Me, I will be getting a video out of the way. Ooh, lovely, scummy. And then I am doing something I haven't done in a while, and that's rest.
Whoa.
Booking in a massage and
Whoa.
a visit to Madame Sensory Deprivation Chamber.
Well, you're going to some sort of
It's not actually a
dominatrix or
real
something.
Madame. Be great. Oh, yeah, here's the details. Yeah, whatever. It's going to get beaten up.
I'm going to Madame Whippy Cheney.
Or William Regal's old flames. Yeah, just to chill and relax.
So is that when
because-
you sort of you get it's like an egg, but you sort of the water suspends you in the air.
Yeah, it's so salty. It's like the Twitter fans of this that you float naturally, and you have to get washed beforehand and afterwards to make sure you're not going to clog it up and all that. And you just put the thing over your eyes, your ears, and it's
You done it before?
What's
it like?
Really relaxing.
How long does it last for?
strange way. Well, that's the thing. It lasts an hour. I think it lasts longer, but I think for
It
starters,
feels like
an
several
hour.
days.
The first, because it plays music for a bit, and then it just goes, gets you segued into it, and then it just kind of.
You fall asleep?
No, but then those 10 minutes feel like 10 minutes. And the bit without the music feels like
It's just
half
silence.
a day.
Silent.
Yeah, just like nothing. There's no sense, and it's just yourself with your thoughts. And I did that during lockdown, God. Did that, and then came out, I was like, oh, you ready? Yeah, you good? He's like, yeah, I've got some stuff when I get back home. And the guy was like, yeah, you're not going to do anything the rest of the day. No, you're done. I'm like, don't be daft. I've got some, wrestling to watch or whatever. I got in and I just sat like that on my couch and was just like, okay, just Amazon Prime, put anything on and just like, I think I'll watch something else. Because you're nothing, got nothing.
Does it like
to
force you
relax.
to switch off? Because that's
Yeah,
my brain's
which is-
always going like that.
Exactly. That's why the
Yeah.
issue I have. So that's why I'm doing it, because I've not done that for a while and I'm just feeling very worn out right now. December's going to be very bloody busy for everybody. And I'm like, now's the time just to, put the handbrake off.
It's good that you
what I
know
mean?
that, though. You know you need to put the handbrake
Yeah.
on. It's good that you know that, because some people don't, do they?
Rock, never stop. I'm like, no, stop. Never rock.
You got to stop
Exactly,
sometimes.
mate. So, yeah, that's me. That was wild. I went into a few curious places, but
Aye, don't
we have
drown.
to stretch this podcast out. I think it's impossible. But I drowned in a sensory deprivation chamber. Did you notice you were drowning? No, I didn't notice anything. That's the idea. Yeah, again, sorry for the little technical issues we've had. It's obviously not been the longest one we've ever had. We've had a lovely time, though. No, hope
I
you've
think
had a
I've
lovely
covered all
one
the
as
ground
well.
we had to cover, though.
Certainly.
Way aye.
And Jack will have something lovely and scrummy, no doubt, on his YouTube career here at Cultaholic as well. That was supposed to sound sarcastic. I'm sorry. Papa Jack will be doing nothing like next week. And Dan will be... What will you be doing, pal?
Learn about wrestling.
Learn about wrestling.
No, I feel... Because it's weird when you sat on the camera, so I shouldn't have done that to Dan.
He
He's
did
not-
a great
He's
job.
not used to it. He did well.
He's only blushing a little bit, Ross. He's absolutely fine. Magnificent. Almost as magnificent as the lovely people on patreon.com/Cultaholic and the people sending questions to mailbag@cultaholic.com. We're going to say Goodbye. And what does Kenny Omega do after he beats Pac this weekend?
Good night.
Adieu.
Good night.
Yeah.
And adieu. Farewell.
Good night. Hinny pet. Bang. Yeah. Ta-ra.
Goodbye.